Hello everyone, and welcome to Chapter 4 of Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age, the Devil and the Doves. I am your storyteller, Kelly. I use he and him pronouns, and I'm very excited to be here tonight because we have been off for about 3 weeks now. Is that all right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that?
Sounds right.
It's been a while. So how is everyone doing tonight? Y'all happy to be back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah, really glad to be
Happy.
back.
Nice. Okay, so...
And my back is not nearly as broken, so it's great.
Yeah,
Nice.
so if you are just finding out now because you don't follow us on social media, we had a couple of issues. We had a back injury that prevented one of us from sitting for any length of time for about a week, and then we had an unfortunate death in the family that kept us from this. So everybody is in tip-top shape tonight, though, and very ready to get back into this awful, horrific scene that we find ourselves in. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So... if you are joining us for the first time, I strongly suggest a couple of things. The first is that you go back and you watch the other episodes. You can find them on youtube.com/dorktales, or I think you can still find them on twitch.tv/dorktales as a VOD. I would suggest the YouTube because they're edited, they're cut down a little and a little tightened, just mildly, and they will be going up on podcast very shortly. So if you'd like, you can wait about a week and you can listen to them all wherever podcasts are sold on the Dork Tales podcast, which I don't want to say that you should give 5-star reviews and up talk to all your friends on, like Apple Podcasts and things like that so that ads get supported. But you should. It'd be great. And then the other thing is that 1 + 1 XP to the group.
We got XP.
Yep, we're already getting XP.
Okay.
Okay.
So, the other thing is that the World of Darkness that Mage the Victorian Era is set in is a very, it's a dark setting. With that in mind, I would like to just say that this game does contain mature themes, discussions of violence, gore, murder, serial murder, and tonight, child endangerment is on the table. If these are things that you have difficulty with, I strongly suggest maybe you skip this one, or you just go in knowing that is present. I'm hoping it'll work out for the best, but this type of thing, you can never be sure. Also, because of the nature of improvised play and role-playing games in general, I would just like to say that we are all comfortable with the lines that we have drawn for each other here. You may not be comfortable with what we're putting forward. If that is the case, it is 100% fine. Take a minute, go do something else, make yourself happy, and you don't have to stick around and watch that, but you can always check in later, or watch one of our games that is a little less this, because this was a dark one.
We asked for it.
Yeah, you did. That being said, it's never. I'm always going to aim on the side of story over gratuitousness, gratuity. And I think if you can handle most serial killer movies, you can handle this on general. But anyway, that's my content warning for the night, and I'm really excited to be back here with episode 4, and we'll do a little recap so that you are all kind of aware of what was going on and some of the situations in the previous scene. But before we do that, let's go ahead and say hi to the cast. Hello, Christine.
Hello, I'm Christine. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing, Evelyn Taylor. That took me a moment. I couldn't remember her last name. I was like, shit, what is it? She is our precursor to Society of Ether. And,
The Electrodyne Engineers.
Yes, Electrodyne Engineer. She's jumping ship. So she's not really one of those anymore. But we don't have a name for the new thing yet. We haven't gotten there in history yet. Well, yeah. Yes, Random Equinox, you are correct. It should be Dr. Evelyn Taylor.
Good job, Equinox. All right, let's go straight down the line. Amy.
Hello, I am Amy, and I use she, her, or they, them pronouns. And tonight I am playing Chastity Goodwin, our celestial chorus / cult of ecstasy member.
/ fiction writer.
Yeah, maybe.
Bible / fiction.
Yeah, maybe not that, but she might have written a few things about Teddy just as like a side piece, just like...
Teddy's your side piece?
He wishes.
A little bit.
Anyway, yeah.
It's good to have you back. All right, let's go down to Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen, and I'm playing Josephine Carrington, the hermetic who does not believe in paradox. Or the straights, forgive me.
I don't believe in the straights either.
Hmm.
Yeah, me neither.
Oof. Actually, one sec. Let me just open. Sorry, I just realized I didn't have any of the mage books open, which is always handy. All right.
That's a good point.
Right? It's always good to be able to reference something. And using the PDF is way easier than using the book that is bigger than most religious tomes. All right. Speaking of most religious tomes, there's no good segue there. All right, gonna go over to...
Speaking of using all the books.
Speaking of using all the books. Hey, Robin.
Hi, everyone. I am Robin. I use she, her, or they, them pronouns. And tonight I am playing Darcie Harkness, the member of the Verbena. And yes, I have 10 tabs open between PDF and Google Drive for things to look at for Mage. And then also, like, several printed off PDFs on my desk because
I'll just have the book hanging out.
Yeah. You're a librarian, though. You can handle what happens if you break its spine. I can't. I would just cry. Also,
Yeah, well.
I just realized that you printed off, Christine, all of the casting pages that I would ever need, and they are somewhere around here.
Yeah, I have them nice and stapled in a nice little thing. It's great.
Yeah, they're right
I
next to
did it
me.
really pretty and just like
Actually, one sec.
know,
They might
lots
be...
of printing.
And the spheres and my character sheet, like, it's great. I'm so happy.
They were on the windowsill with all of the other things that I need. All right. I won't need this for the most part, but correspondence ranges are always something good to check. Oh, they're with the Guide to Yithrin.
Yes.
All right. All right, so folks, we are going to do a quick recap. So, your characters all assembled through various twists of fate, some of you starting in the Americas, others starting in London. Through happenstance, you were all brought together in the back of a speeding carriage, fleeing away from a general assembly of the technocratic, well, the soon-to-be technocratic Union of London. After a startling chase, you reconvened at the house of one Mr. Dashwood, Teddy Dashwood's deceased uncle, where you checked in, discovered that you were all members of the 9 mystic traditions. Well, the mystic traditions, I guess, is probably what they should be called these days, and as well as one defector. With that, you decided to spend the night kind of getting to terms with each other and kind of just hiding out, and discovered that the house that you were staying in was haunted. After soundly trouncing a ghost and pillaging a local corrupted node, you went out and discovered that there were a number of other things in the house that were quite interesting, and then were approached by a man known as Dinesh Mani. Dinesh is a member of the Chakravanti, a group of, how to put this, thuggy death cultists is a way that many people will refer to them, depending on your personal opinions of the Euthanatoi or Chakravanti as they are known in certain places. They are either good Samaritans who lighten the wheel of karma by purging it of undesirable elements, or they are mass murderers. There's really not much nuance to opinions on them. He seemed like a fine enough guy, brought you breakfast, and said that there was a murder across the city that had your names literally written on it. After a lengthy carriage ride, because I went and calculated how long it takes for a carriage to ride across the city in old London, and it's not fun. You found yourself on the east side, where you witnessed an absolutely horrific murder that involved a woman who had been splayed out and gutted like a pig, there's no way to say this without saying a content warning. That there was a woman who had been horribly butchered and had been pregnant at the time, and the child was not at the scene of the crime. So with that, you did investigations. You figured out that it was a series of clues that had been left for you, almost as if this was some kind of game. The killer had left a clue leading to the Crystal Palace, a London staple that had recently, about 40 years ago, recent in European history, been moved across the city, now to the south. And one that is usually, any of you who have ever seen it and who have ever been there in character know that it is a very surreal place, like a giant terrarium. With all manner of just a menagerie and strange and exotic plants inside. And as you were wrapping up the scene, Dinesh allowed someone else to enter the fray, and that was the arrival of a special investigator, a lord from the north, named Lord Macduff, who is quite knowledgeable about things here, and brought to your attention that he believes this might be the work of one of the Nafandi, fallen mages who have been corrupted beyond any type of redemption. And I believe that is where we left off, was with the reveal of the word Nafandi, or Nafandi. You can always make it fancier. And thank you, MK. Good. MK's filling out all the details here. The New Age Garden of Eve, engaged in clouds. These are good lines. So, did anyone have any questions about that before we begin? This has been a few weeks.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
I think I'm good.
And for those of you watching on Twitch right now, I just want to congratulate our friend Trizelta, who just accepted a job as moderator of our channel. So Trizelta's already banned somebody. It's been great. He's not trigger happy. It was a bot, but so thank you so much for doing the hard work, Officer Trizelta. Okay. And let me just adjust that because my hair keeps clipping. There we go. Problem with that. Okay. So we're going to hop right into game, folks. But before that, I have one little piece of catch-up fiction to open the story with. It's a short one, so. The chair was not comfortable, nor was it particularly uncomfortable. It was a high-backed chair carved with ornate laurels expanding in a corona from a solitary crown, embossed at its center, that pressed ever so slightly against the sitter's shoulder blades, as if a stern mother reminding them of their posture. The cushion was crushed velvet, brilliant red, but thin and slightly faded by the arrivals and departures of so many posteriors over its long and well-appointed existence. Of course, it was not the chair itself that was making James Morgan uncomfortable. It was that he'd been sitting in it for nearly a dozen hours, many of them in abject solitude, where he could at least enjoy the brief luxury and respite of a stretched leg or rolled ankle. However, 1 hour ago, a pair of gentlemen had entered the room, and their presence denied him the impropriety of such a luxury. They were terrible conversationalists, to be sure, and refused to say even a single word, acknowledging each other with a silent language of their own that seemed to be comprised of nothing more than subtle twitches of their pale, fish-like lips, their watery eyes, their twitching fingers. Their flesh was paler still, as if powdered, and neither had a single follicle of hair between them, including their eyebrows. One was tall and thin, the other short, stocky, and portly, a pot-belly strained against his waistcoat. They looked like brothers who had decided to go into the mortuary business, bred and birthed by a fishwife with a particular interest in the production of homely men. As the silence stretched on, James could bear it no longer. He cleared his throat and was about to speak when the undeniable sound of a lock clicked behind him, and the door to the room opened, shedding light into the dimness. He did not look backward, but soon saw that joining them was a third, equally ugly brother. This one, broad, strong, a middleman, with the same deterministic traits. What a family indeed. However, as the door shut, James realized that behind them was a person of a much different persuasion. At first, he thought the newcomer to be a man, due to the short hair, clippered at the sides almost to the scalp. But as they entered, and movement caught the curves of hips and bust, James recognized that it was a woman dressed in a full pantsuit. Like a man. Stranger still, the locks that dangled down across her eyes were dyed a bright, electric blue. Both figures took a seat opposite to him, next to the fishmen. "Hello. I'm afraid there's been some kind of a mistake," James began in an attempt at controlling the situation. The woman raised a white-gloved hand to halt his speech and smirked. Her voice was low and tinged with a strange accent, flat and harsh like in the Americas, but with long-drawn vowels like he had never heard. "No, Mr. Morgan, there hasn't. Your wife has stolen something really, really valuable, and I want it back." She leaned forward and smiled broadly. "You have no idea how far I came to deliver that box." Meanwhile, back in London, in the deep East Side, you all find yourselves inside of that attic. The room is all dust and iron. You can smell every nail, every drop of blood here. It's corrosive to the soul to be in this room any longer, but what else can you do? As you look around, the woman is still there, splayed like a Christmas turkey. And it's hard not to look. I'd like to know what everyone's doing right now. The curtain has been drawn aside, and Lord Macduff is standing there. He's wearing a large, broad coat with fur lining around the collar, a short but quite well-made beaver fur hat, and is carrying a cane in one hand, a walking stick, as practically every gentleman would do in this day and age. He's wearing a pair of black leather gloves as well, and his shoes are not shined. They're well made and speckled with mud and scrapes, as is the hem of his pants. This is the type of man who, despite the title Lord, does not seem to mind getting his hands or feet dirty. The gloves on his hands look well worn. As you're standing there looking around the room, what's everyone doing?
So, Chastity's actually hovering near the door, trying to encourage everyone to leave. That kind of like, I've seen everything kind of thing.
You think you've seen everything? I think so.
She's seen everything she wants to see, at least.
I think so.
I think she's looking at Macduff, Lord Macduff. And was Dinesh up here as well?
Dinesh is up there. Dinesh walked him in. So basically, it's a large... To give you a layout of the room, it is an attic apartment inside of one of these row houses. The roof is at a sharp angle. You're getting both sections of the peaked roof coming down in this room, so that only the center is enough for... Lord Macduff is about 6 foot, so his hat is definitely risking one of the sconces on the side of the room, or the oil sconces that's been attached to the wall, and is almost being he's almost risking dehatting if he walks any further into the room at his angle. Dinesh is a bit shorter. He's about 5'10" and can manage pretty well. And both of you, all of you, can make it pretty far on either side of the room, but it does slant down to The low part of the room is about 2 feet tall. Maybe 2.5. Like, it slumps down almost incredibly so. It's large enough here for... it looks like this has been subdivided into 2 barren little apartments by a laundry curtain that is hung across the center of the room. And on the far side of it is where this young woman had been butchered. On that side of the room, there are doves, I believe, on the left side of the room that have been nailed to the wall after having your name written with blood. And then there is a single solitary window, fairly large, non-opening, and covered in bird shit on the far center of the room. It is, I'd say it's about the size of, this is a anachronistic reference, but it's about the size of a hula hoop. So it's about 3 foot diameter.
Okay.
Besides that, most of the things on the right hand wall is just general junk. A lot of old broken furniture. It seems like the people who own this house and rent it out are using that as partially a storage space. It does not appear that has anything of importance. You think it's just set dressing there thrown by the storyteller to explain why the room isn't divided into 4 places.
Okay. Yeah, so Chastity's standing near the exit, and she's just watching Lord Macduff and Dinesh, and kind of... primarily Lord Macduff, because she hasn't met him really yet.
And did you explain, it's been 2 weeks. Can you remind me, did you exchange pleasantries before? Like names and things with each other? Or with him, at least?
Maybe barely.
I think we basically got the dun-dun.
Yeah,
right
I
after
think we
he was
just got the entrance
Yeah.
and basically episode end cliffhanger.
I think he got
kind of thing.
introduced, and then that basically was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Fair.
introduced, like called them what they are in Afandi, I believe was the line, and
Called them what they
We
Then
got
are.
his
said-
name, but that was about it.
like
Yeah.
the game is afoot, I think was the last line.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the word those are the words that are going to echo in the air here. It appears the game is afoot. I'm guessing that you're the doves on the wall, he says in a thick Scottish brogue. Which of you is which?
It would look that way. I'm Josephine, but if there's a game, I think our time is short.
Right. I'm Chastity.
Chastity.
Evelyn Taylor.
Evelyn Taylor. And I suppose that would make you Darcie Harkness
Yes, I am Darcie.
from the Isles. And from the Americas, it seems. Interesting. We've come a long way to be involved in a murder. Whatever this game is, the bastard who's doing this has particular tastes. He'll walk around the room once, surveying the scene, checking some of the blood with a gloved hand. I see. Well, this is quite something. Can I get a perception and alertness roll off of everyone? Because I'm assuming that you're probably watching this large, quite... I want to say bear of a man, but he's not quite that large. Definitely wolfish and imposing. In my mind, he's played by Gerard Butler.
So you said alertness?
Perception and alertness, please. And it's
Holy
going to be
shit.
a difficulty of 6, we'll say.
I rolled 3 9s and a 10.
Holy crap.
Ooh, nice.
Wow. 2
2.
for me.
Just 1 for me, but I think Josephine's being impatient and maybe not paying as much attention, so that tracks.
Okay.
4 for me as well.
4. 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because 10s only count when you have
a specialty.
Yeah.
Okay. So anybody who got more than 3 successes, so 3 successes or higher, as he looks down and starts looking through the blood. I don't like this at all. He lowers himself slightly, and as he does, his quite large frame is blocking the back window. And as he squats down, those of you with 3 successes or more are going to see that a shape suddenly darts by the window outside along the rooftop.
Out the window there on the rooftop.
Yeah, did you see? You saw that too?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Did anybody else see that?
I
She'll dart over, carefully not stepping in anything to look.
All right, with that roll, you are going to be able to hear the sound of feet rushing across the shingles outside. Someone's running across the rooftop and away from here, and fast.
How can we get on the roof?
Dinesh will... It doesn't look like the window opens. All windows open, just once. Well, go if you're going. Is anybody going to chase after this person?
Yeah, absolutely. I just wasn't sure if he
Well,
was going
Evelyn
to
was
go out
already
the
running in the
window.
other direction to the window.
Yes, so rushing up to the window.
Oh.
Are you going to open the window?
No, she was just gonna look, trying to see anything. She is not a chasing somebody across rooftops sort of person. Thank you very much.
As you're looking, you're going to see a figure dressed in long pants, probably about 5'5", running away from here. You can see a cap, and that's about it from this angle, rushing across the rooftop very quickly. Anyone else? Anybody else doing anything?
Darcy's trying to go through the window. Darcy's running off top of roof.
Okay, so why don't I get an initiative roll between you and Josephine if you two are actually leaving?
I was actually heading downstairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to go outside because there's too many people at the window. I can't get through it.
Oh.
I am a large person, like tall person. So
Evelyn will call after you, cap and long pants. If there's a specific color that she knows, she'll... Not that they have much color, but...
Can someone please remind me what initiative is?
You roll 1 10-sided dice and add your dexterity and your wits score to it.
And my wits. Okay, dex.
And when the NPC rolls a 1, you have a decent amount of advantage on this.
nice.
Okay, and I'm reminded that Chastity has a mind shield for the day and that Josephine has Prime Sight active for the day.
I also have Prime Sight as well.
Yes, one of you has it for the chapter, if you so choose. I can't remember who that was. I think it might have been Darcie.
I think I might have. Yeah, I think I might have had it up for the chapter. I'm pretty sure. I'll think if I check my notes back here.
Chapter being like a longer section of story.
Yeah, I think I have. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Initiative. I have that one.
All right. Can I get initiative scores off of people?
We both got 12.
You both got okay. Then it
Both
defaults to
Darcie
who has the higher base score.
I have a +5.
I have a +7.
Okay. All right, let's do this nice and easy. Josephine, Darcie. All right. All right, Josephine, with rapid steps, you are going to start clopping down the stairs beneath you. You are going to hit the pole ladder that descends down into the top floor of this house with a great deal of alacrity. I'm going to say that you're enough used to boats and like boat-like things and like library ladders that you're not going to have to roll to get down this thing quickly in boots. As you rush forward, there is a fairly sheer drop over the banister to get down to the main floor. You can either take the stairs or you can jump.
I'm going to jump.
Okay, sounds good. Now, I will need a dex and athletics for that because Victorian stairwells are nightmarish. What we're going to do is we're going to do difficulty 6 on this, and depending on how you roll is how cool you do it.
Cool. As I'm heading down, I know that there was the kid who was watching over the place for Dinesh who left.
Yes.
I'm keeping an eye out for her.
Okay.
Just as a like, did she hang around, or did she maybe decide to go spy on us at the window, or anything like that? But I don't know for sure. But
Sounds good.
that's just on her mind.
Absolutely.
3 successes.
3 successes. All right. So you are easily able to. Do you want me to narrate, or do you want to narrate it?
No, go ahead.
I'm going to say that the banister here is quite low, and enough that you're going to hit the ground from that, immediately catch the momentum of you springing down into a squat to toss yourself over, twist in the air, and grab the floor of the second floor, using it to swing down into the main floor and take off running, and you're going to shoot out of the front of the house at this point. That's going to be your action. As you shoot out of the front of the house, you will see nearby that caller who was like, "Whores, all of you whores," is kind of over there in the corner, and Kat, the girl who was hired by Dinesh to watch the place, is sitting on the street corner in her boyish outfit, smoking a hand-rolled cigarette and just kind of glaring at the guy with a cudgel on her lap. You can see there's a bit of blood streaming down the side of his face.
Nice.
Okay. Oi, I told you not to come back here. That was the worst accent I'll ever do. So, I told you not to come back here, old man. Yeah, that was even worse. Never mind. We're doing Scottish only tonight, folks. Scottish only. All right. Darcie, you're going right through the window?
Yeah, I was wondering if I could use my forces to, like, infuse, like, my shoulder as she, like, throws herself through the window so she can, like, actually guarantee that she's going to break through the glass.
That sounds great. Here's the part about Mage that is always fun for new players. How are you going to do it?
So I think she's gonna, as she's running, she's gonna quickly take a bit of she's gonna quickly grab into her bag and grab a like a bone of like a small little chunk of cow bone to be strength, and she's just gonna like start muttering under her breath and holding that kind of talisman, and she's just gonna like fucking chuck herself out the window.
So make me an Rattray roll. This is going to be at a difficulty of 5, I'll say.
Okay. Oh, I rolled 2 4s and an 8, so 1 success.
1 success. Hey, that's all you need for a little boost. What I want you to do is make me a strength and athletics roll.
Okay, I'm glad I used some of my XP to give myself athletics, because I had none, so I'm glad I have dice. What's my difficulty?
Difficulty on this is going to be 6.
Alright, that's gonna be... Damn, these dice like me. I rolled 2 10s, but I don't do anything from that. So that's gonna be 2 successes.
2 successes? Alright, so that'll turn into, I'm going to say 5 successes with the little forces push.
Okay.
So you were going to hit the window, and Darcie, you're going to clutch that, and you're going to leap, and the window is going to just shatter around you. Now, the roof is not very far beyond here and quite slanted, so as soon as you go down to the other side, I need an immediate dex and athletics roll at a difficulty of 8. It is London, it is raining, and you jumped onto a slanted roof in boots.
I did. She doesn't think very well. She just kind of...
Also, you used forces to propel yourself through, but I'm going to be nice on that one.
Holy shit. I did use forces.
Did you
3 9s and an 8. That's 4 successes.
Okay. Good
crap,
for you. So you're going to hit your boots, because I'm assuming she's wearing boots, right? Like kind of lace-ups.
Yeah.
Your boots are
boots.
going to hit the roof, and you are going to skid. One of the shingles is actually going to break away beneath your foot and cause your knee to slam down hard. But rather than causing you to topple over the edge of the roof, it almost puts you in more of a runner's position. And you are going to be able to start off after this person, who you are going to see ahead of you reach the end of this rooftop, and is going to hurl themselves across the 10-foot gap to the next roof. For a moment, it looks like they won't make it, and then they are going to hit hard on their hip, using the momentum to roll over, but that looks like that is going to be a hell of a bruise as they roll to their feet and keep going. And that is going to be their turn. Now, while that is happening, I'm going to cut back to everybody else. You two, what are you doing back inside of the room as Macduff looks out the window? That's one way to do it.
Chastity's gonna start heading downstairs.
Yes, that was one way to do it. Evelyn will pick up her. I think she carried her bag in with any of her instruments and whatnot, and I guess best get following.
A different breed of women these days.
I heard that.
You should have. I spoke it.
Chastity calls. Chastity's like halfway down the stairs.
He will shoot a look back to you, Doctor, and will say, funny thing about the young ones, they always assume that any comment like that is a negative one. I think it's quite amusing. Doctor.
You're not wrong.
A doctor of what, might I ask?
Science.
And he is going to eye your bag with sudden suspicion that you have yet to experience in this group. The immediate tone of your conversation ices over.
She was expecting that, so she will say that and do a very quick little heel turn and follow after Chastity because she does not want to be alone.
Sounds good.
At this point.
All right. Josephine, you hit the ground running, see Cat sitting in front of you. Oh, what's this then? She says at you.
Come make some cash. Run with me.
I'm already making cash and... Okay. And what are you going to do? So overhead, you're going to hear the clatter, and as you look up, you are going to see the silhouette just between a couple of these houses as legs are going to pinwheel through the air and hit the next roof hard.
That's our target. Help me catch him. And then I'm taking off in that direction.
Okay, Kat is going to follow you, and as you start running down the street, just going full bore, she's going to go, "Oi, oi, not that way, down the alley, down the alley."
I'll follow her directions.
She's not, I don't think she's as fast as you, but she can shout streetwise directions. She's your navigator.
I was like, I'm going to get lost in these streets. I need someone.
Oh, God. All right. So I need you to do me a favor. You are going to make a stamina and athletics roll because we are in chase scene right now.
All right. Chasing. Whew.
Difficulty 6.
Thank you. That is 4 successes.
Oh, okay. 4 successes. Great. Darcie, you hit the roof upstairs. Or pardon me, you hit the roof outside of the window and see this directly in front of you. Josephine, down below, you are going to skip to the next house and start arcing down this breakneck winding alley between the houses. When I say I say breakneck winding, I mean that a man of my size in real life would not be able to go through this alley straight. And the stones and bricks that are holding these houses together are at such wayward angles that were I to go down, I would come out without sleeves. It's like grasping hands of brick down this alley. But you're going to be able to migrate through it because Josephine is, she's not small, but she's not that big. For this,
she's not broad.
Yeah,
she's tall, but not as broad. So.
I picture her with fairly broad shoulders. I think she's got good punching shoulders.
Yeah, fair.
That's how I picture her, but not she's not me.
Yeah.
So, all right, so that's what you're going to be winding between. So you are 2 houses ahead because you didn't have to worry about roofing. Roof. And Darcie, what do? You see this ahead of you. The figure hits the next house and is just running. They are very quick.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could... I was wondering if I could do a rote of mine.
Sure.
The Curse of Matcha.
Okay, good.
Which,
I like lattes.
Yeah, right? Basically allows the victim, male or female, to feel labor pains, and if I get successes, it equals each success is 2 levels of bashing damage, and they are incapacitated by pain, so they will stop and clutch and try and moan in agony.
That sounds fantastic. So what I need you to do is, what you're going to do is, this is going to be uncanny. So you are going to be at a difficulty of, it is a rote, it is life 3.
Yep. Life 2.
Life 2. Okay, so that's going to be a difficulty of 5. You managed to make your roll, so you're stable on the roof. I'm not going to give you any concentration penalties for fast casting right now, and it's a rote.
Okay.
So you're going to be at difficulty 5. What you are going to need is, it's in line of sight. You need duration, basically. So how many successes are you going for?
Let me find that. Well, because I would like to go for. Let me find this page on duration again. Turn 1 scene. I would like to go for 4 successes. I would like to put 2 into duration and then 2 into pain.
Okay, that sounds good. I would suggest spending a willpower.
Yeah, I was gonna spend a willpower. Yeah, so that's 1 success. Oh boy. Okay, let's go. 5 is the difficulty.
Difficulty 5. So you have 1 success right now.
That's gonna be 4 successes.
Is it actually?
I rolled 5, 8, 9. My dice are on fire tonight, and I don't know why. But they are on
the actual
fire.
mechanic for this, you took this out of the Verbena book, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
So this inflicts what damage?
Each success on the spell is treated as 2 levels of bashing damages for purpose of determining dice pool penalties due to the terrible pain. Targets incapacitated by the spell are incapable of doing anything other than moaning and writhing in agony.
Okay, I'm gonna say that they will still get a soak roll to see if they can try to push through it.
Okay. Did you botch?
You can't botch a soak roll, but yes.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a 2 and a 1.
Oof.
All right. So as you do, how do you do this? This is the most important part.
Yeah. So what she's gonna do is, as she hits the roof, she's gonna actually quickly whip out the dagger that's on her like belts or like in her purse, and she's gonna like dig it into the her forearm and causing herself pain. But she will basically like turn and look at them and stare at them, and then just cut it open, speaking in ancient Gaelic about the struggles of labor pains. And here's my pain, I'm giving it on to you. Feel the pain of the generations of women before me, in Gaelic.
Okay. So what's going to happen as you do this is they're going to hit the next roof over and take off running. And as they are making it to the second roof down the way, trying to jump that much smaller gap, they are going to scream and clutch their crotch as if you had just kicked them, like with your pointy-toed witch boots, right in the balls. And it is a loud, broken-voiced scream as this person tries to jump, grabs themselves in pain, and falls off of the side of the roof, plunging downward with breakneck speed toward the ground below. And we will be there in just a second. You are going to hear the scream, by the way, and immediately recognize this as a pubescent male. Maybe 12, 13. And they're going to start plunging toward the ground. And as we are back to the street, let us check in with... you are rushing down the stairs there. Chastity followed by the good doctor. And how are you getting down? You just going to take the stairs at a normal pace? Or are you going to try to do something crazy?
Chastity's just planning on descending with some haste, but not anything crazy.
I'm assuming there's a railing, so like...
Yes.
Of some sort. So Evelyn's going to hold onto it and just... You know that sort of like really quick, but then you do the tight turn at...
Yeah, the hip hug?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you kind of just like swing yourself around at the point you're holding on to.
Sounds good. So
She'll do that sort of thing.
You'll be able to pivot around the way at the bottom, and as you are making it through, now the basic floor, you'll have to move through the kitchen to get out the door because this place is a nightmare of construction. Chastity, since you are going first, you'll hear the sound of the doctor going tick, 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 tick on the stairs down, and as you turn around just to get your bearings and rush out the door, you'll see that there is a small plate sitting on the kitchen counter of tea biscuits. Cheap, very cheap tea biscuits. Different. However,
little tiny horses.
Little tiny horses everywhere. As you glance down, you're going to see that the tea biscuits, which is something that you're probably not terribly used to seeing in America. They're not nearly as popular over there, but the hoity-toity family might have had some of them.
From time to time.
This is a poor house, but as you glance down quickly, it's not so poor that they would leave out tea biscuits that were green with mold, fuzzy, carpeted with the stuff, and on them a small handful of thick, bloated black flies buzz.
That's weird. Evelyn,
Yes.
can you analyze these or examine these somehow? And she'll motion over at them. That
I don't see
strikes
why
me
not.
as strange.
Yes.
Sure. If you could take a sample for later if you have like a small bag or two, or you could do it right now. Your call.
I will take a sample. I'll just kind of slide them off. I'm sure I have a whole lot of vials like lining the inside of my bag or something.
Sounds good. You'll be able to do that easily. You have plenty
And
of
I'll
like
put
wax
one of the
paper.
flies in.
That you will be able to grab one of the dead flies for sure. There is a
that's
dead
what I
fly.
meant.
Okay. But the rest of them are alive but are going to scatter lazily as you go and pluck out their dead companion. They don't go anywhere though. They hover like a cloud over your hand as you move.
That's odd.
All right, and you are going to easily be able to grab those. Top of the initiative, Josephine, you are going to round this breakneck corner and hear above you and see that now the walkway ahead of you, the gardens, which are basically like 8x2 back plots surrounded by roughly mortared stone, are on either side of you with basically like a bunch of like place for people to hang laundry in a bit of a derelict field out back. You're going to see whatever that runner is plunge off the roof, headed neck first for one of these stone barricades.
Am I close enough to do anything physical?
Are you... In theory, you, with a moment's notice and a really high difficulty, you could vault one of these stone walls that are about 3.5 feet tall, and you could try to like kind of catch them midair. It would be very dangerous, and it would probably hurt like hell.
Can I do that but help myself with forces?
You may try. You may always try. How are you helping yourself with forces? What is the mechanic you want? You want to just lower your difficulty?
Yeah, basically. So what I want to do is, her instinct is to basically try and catch this person, but like catch / knock them enough that they're not gonna die on impact, kind of thing. Whether that's me using forces, I'm having trouble visualizing, so whether that's me using forces on myself to get there in order to do this, or using forces on them.
So there are two ways that I can see this, just to guide you through this.
Sure.
Either it would be a gravity shield on one of the two of you, either slow the descent, or or remove some gravity on you so you can jump higher and farther and quicker, or you could just use forces 1 to basically calculate the physics of the equation super quick, which would lower the difficulty on acquiring boy, which has been deployed from the roof. The boy has been deployed.
Fair. I think Oh, she doesn't believe in straights. She's gonna do the gravity shield on herself to try and, you know.
I mean, you have forces 3, you could literally catch him with telekinesis. If you want to go big. There's the third option. You could just be like, bibbity boppity leviosa. Leviosa.
Well, and that's why I was asking if I was close enough to do anything physically, because I think just her instinct would be to be physical about it, right?
Sure. All right,
But with
let's get
forces help.
physical.
Sure. So forces first?
Yes, so that is going to be, you don't have a rope for this. This is going to be forces 2. And what I would suggest, honestly, is that you go, let's see, forces 2, and then, so that would be, this would be uncanny. It wouldn't be elegant, but it wouldn't be completely off the deep end, catastrophic. So why don't we say that it's difficulty of 6 because you're doing it on the fly.
Okay.
You can spend quintessence to make this easier, or if you have a unique focus.
Yeah, I don't... Oh, wait. Sorry, I was just responding to
Yep,
your
that's totally
question
fine.
about paradox, and I picked the wrong thing because I forgot which was quintessence and which was paradox on
Okay.
the wheel.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, so I don't have I don't have a focus for this specifically.
So probably language or something is easy.
Yeah, I will mutter my classic Latin under my breath, as above so below sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I will spend a willpower because I got one back from the chat. Thank you, chat.
So what I would suggest, so there's going to be difficulty 6.
Yeah.
I would say go for 5 successes.
Okay.
You're going to get what you're going to get.
Yeah.
But I would call division into, you only need it for 1 round, so time is not a factor. I would put it into either extra bodies or extra soak on this. So in theory, if you get enough successes, you could add 1 and cast it on yourself and him, so that gravity kind of slows in the area, or gravity lessens in the area.
Right.
Kind of in a dilation.
Yeah, I think I'll aim for 5 and do that, and then if I have extra successes or something, see what happens. All right, so I am spending that willpower, so there's 1.
I realize the 5 is arbitrary, but
Yeah. And that is 2 more, so 3 total.
3 total. Okay, so what that will do is it'll lower the damage on this significantly. Now, what I need to know is, are you doing it to just yourself or yourself and him?
I was aiming for myself and him if I could.
Sure.
Kind
Okay,
of thing.
so that'll lower it slightly less. But can you make me a dexterity and athletics roll at a difficulty of 8?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay.
Can I also spend willpower on this or no?
You
'Cause I
cannot. It's the same round. This is the problem with
That's what I thought.
splitting magic actions.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, that's fine. One success.
1 success. Okay. So let me just figure out the velocity of a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
I'm falling off a roof. My nuts hurt
African
a lot.
or European?
European. that was.
Oh, that
not
could
what-
work on so many levels.
I was really like, that is borderline. Like,
I was just thinking the Monty Python. Okay, that's it.
Yep.
That is it.
that was. You know what? What's Robin? You personally take a willpower point back, not Darcie.
Okay.
Okay.
You can all use willpower.
Okay. So I would like you to make me a soak roll,
All right.
and he will also make a soak roll.
That is just stamina, right?
It is just stamina, but you also can add stamina plus 2.
Okay.
Because you have the rote going right now. So you're going to soak an additional... we got 3 successes, so it's 1, 2... an additional 4.
Cool. Difficulty 6?
Difficulty 6?
So I rolled 2 successes, so plus 4, 6.
Oh, no, roll the 4 dice. Roll the 4 dice.
Oh, roll the 4 dice. Sorry.
Yeah, they'll count as stamina for purposes of the absorption.
That makes sense. Ah, come on, dice.
It just means you've got super duper soak for catching boys.
There. Well, that's another 3, so 5 total. 'cause
Okay.
I rolled 2 on the first.
You are going to take 0 damage. I'm going to say from that 1 success, though, you are going to leap up. And I said the grasping hands of these brickwork and stonework. You are going to tear. You're wearing pants or skirt?
I'm wearing that riding skirt, so it actually will detach into like pants. But
Okay. So it is going to get a slit right down the side, which is actually going to make the athletics a bit easier.
Oh, nice.
Right? But it is going to damage the outfit, which will need to be repaired later. And you are going to get your boots quite scuffed up from this, but are going to launch yourself through the air, catching him. You are going to impact him the moment before the little knob at the end of the mortar joint, like where the two walls meet, would have caught the base of his skull. And are going to hurl yourself into the fallow field behind the house. No, I say fallow field. It's like half the size of basketball half court. But you are going to hit the ground and skid through the mud, having caught him.
Nice.
And he is going to just groan and go, oh, my balls, my balls.
Yeah. Josephine doesn't know what to do with that.
I don't know what to do with that, so that's fair. All right, Darcie, you're up on the roof right now. You see this boy plunge off. You know what? It was a valid attempt to do something, and it was something cool. But I think Darcie's learning as long.
Oh, she's learning. She's learning. Robin is learning, and Darcie is learning at the same time.
I was just remembering one of those videos where the guys they experience labor pains through the electrodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, those guys were crippled. If I were running and someone did that to me, I would fall off a roof.
Yeah, that's fair. Darcie's gonna be like shocked, look down. She's gonna try and like go to the edge and be like, oh shit.
And you will see in kind of behind a comet of pressed mud, Josephine has caught this person.
Is there any way that she can get down off the roof? Is there like a fire escape?
Yeah, no. In Victorian London, you burn if you burn.
Yeah, I know.
You could try to scale down. I will say there is a gutter. Like there is like an iron gutter on one of the sides of the buildings that you could try to to kind of hustle down if you'd like.
Is there anyone nearby?
I mean, there are a few people nearby, but it's so sooty and overcast here, and it's like almost evening at this point. So most of them are looking where the boy fell. So you might have a little bit of a.
Okay, because I'm thinking potentially of either trying to scale down or just like try and jump and either cast flying or slow velocity on myself.
Okay. Well,
to try and fall. But I think how easy does it look to scale down? Does it look really hard?
I mean, it is an iron pipe. So like I wouldn't do it in real life.
Yeah.
But is
how
Darcie
tall up is the roof?
You are on the 3rd floor of a Victorian house. So I'm going to say you're about 40 feet in the air from the corner of this roof.
Okay.
Amy, what's up?
Oh, I just had a query about a possibility. Just like the buildings are very close together, right?
Yes, these are.
Are there any that she could scale down by kind of wedging herself between them and bracing herself, like that kind?
Yeah, between these, like I said, I could not fit through these straightwise, so they're about 2 feet between these buildings.
So 2 feet.
Okay, yeah, Darcie's gonna try and like.
Okay, what I want
two
is
sides and scale down.
This is going to be not easy. So what I would like is a strength and athletics test at a difficulty of 8. Because I'd say dex, but this is strength, let's be fair. Because you got to keep that pressure.
Yep. Oh, okay. Strength and athletics. Oh,
I love that you could have just gone back the other way, but this is fine. Also, hello to Gehenna Gaming.
feel like Darcie's she's still a bit of a child, and she's kind of used to climbing around barns and shit. So she's like, I can probably do this.
Yeah, except you fall on stones and not hay here. But I get where you're putting down.
Yeah, you get where Darcie's thinking. She'll learn. 8. That is 1 success.
Okay, so you're going to make it down about a floor, going scrape, 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 scrape. Oh, lady, I can see your knickers. You hear beneath as the boyish dressed girl that was outside of the house before walks underneath you.
Well, could you make sure no one else comes this way and sees them themselves?
I'd rather charge a fee.
Oi!
Come and see the lady's knickers.
Stop it! And she'll try and go down faster, which is probably when she'd like.
Okay, give me another strength and athletics roll at difficulty 9.
Oh, God.
And as that is happening, the two of you are going to follow the commotion and be able to round the corner. Now working your way down this breakneck alley.
I got 0.
You got 0? And I need you to make me a stamina roll.
Okay.
And I'm going to make a dodge roll real quick. Okay.
Stamina, what's my difficulty for stamina?
Always 6 on a soak.
Always 6? Okay. 1 success. I rolled
1 success. Okay, so I'm going to say that you're falling 20 feet on stone. That's going to be 4 dice. Okay, you're going to take a point of bashing damage. Okay. So that is denoted with a slash. It heals in about an hour of not using it, or like a quick use of life magic for you. And you are going to try to scurry down faster, and as you do, you're going to step on a bit of brick that actually the brick is going to go inside of the house as you put your foot on it, and you're going to just drop. And you two are going to be making your way down the alley as you watch Darcie slip ass first, basically like a folding chair, and just slam her tailbone into the floor here. The boyishly dressed girl, Kat, is going to dive roll out of the way like a video game character.
Oh, you kind of just stay there for a second and cushion me as I fall as you're glancing up at my knickers.
You ain't got enough money to make me do that.
That's true.
Can I get up in the field and like haul the boy up by his collar?
Darcie will also release the pain. She will stop that. She will consciously stop that. Now.
It hurts.
You should be grateful of your mom now.
My mom's dead. All right. In this back fallow field, you will he will kind of shudder against you as the pain slowly leaves his body in undulating waves, like someone tossed a giant stone into a very still pond, and it's just waiting for the water to become still again. Any guy who has ever been racked knows exactly that feeling where you're just waiting for the wake to die. You're just like, oh god. I have no idea what it's like on the other side of that. I'm only on the Brovery side, not the ovary side. So, and you will have a stiff grasp of him. He is a quick look at him as you all round the corner, and Darcie picks herself up. The boy is maybe 13 years old. Just at that age where his voice is starting to have some cracks into it, and the barest hint of peach fuzz is visible on him. However, the question that you asked before as a joke, Robin, is actually quite hard to see right now. Whether or not he is English or not, because he is covered from head to toe with soot. Every bit of him is billowing, and actually, Josephine, you are covered in coal dust as well. Those of you who are native to London will immediately recognize the aesthetic of a chimney sweep. Those of you outside might have a good chance of it. Josephine, you might have read a story with chimney sweeps in it.
Yeah, probably. But also, I don't know if I'd translate that into this.
Fair. And also, the fact that Evelyn didn't jump out the roof with her umbrella to catch this person really, like, killed a bunch of jokes that we could have had.
Right?
Yeah, chimney. So this sweep was not as lucky could be. I'll just put that out here. All right, so you have caught him. What are you going to do to me?
What were you doing peeping? Shake him a little.
I was cleaning the roofs. The monks, the ones who own the place, they give me a halfpenny to clean through when I'm not doing my normal rounds. And I was cleaning the roof off, doing the chimney, and I saw it. Oh God, I saw all of it. And his eyes will unfocus as the memory claims his mind again. Mm-hmm. And as he is standing there, you are going to just watch his eyes dilate. Like the pupils are going to shrink to pinpricks as he stares off into the distance. And the coal is going to start dripping off of his cheeks as tears fall unbidden in rivers. He's not crying. He's not shuddering. It's his eyes can't shut off. Chastity.
So are we there, or
you are there? You all have walked along
okay.
into the field at this point, picking Darcie off her ass. Kat, the runner girl, is kind of standing nearby, and as he is crying, you're going to hear an obnoxious as she bites into a fairly soft apple.
So what Chastity would like to do is she'll actually take a step forward and put both of her hands on this teen's shoulders, this kid's shoulders, and she's gonna look get very close up into his face and look at him in the eyes and see.
That lady. Oh God. You can't.
Now,
what do you do?
She would like to use a mind effect if she can. She wants to do a couple things. I'm not entirely sure how exactly what steps it has to be. She wants to see what this kid saw, and once she gets it out of him, wants to either dull the impact of the memory or remove it.
Okay.
Because
so this will be multiple steps as you are outside there.
So she's basically got her hands on his shoulder. She's looking at, and she's gonna lean her head forward, and she's gonna essentially lean it against his, and say just tell me it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Okay. So let's take a look at this real quick. Mind magic has always been, I'm going to be honest here, one of the things that has been very difficult for me because the rules are actually quite different than the normal rules. So I'm just whipping out how do you do that to make sure that I'm following the M20 versions of this.
Yeah.
So, because they do it slightly differently here. Energy work, necromancy, enhanced perceptions. Is it in this book? I swore it was. Uncanny influence. This is the basics. Okay. Mind 2 allows you to... You have mind what level?
I have it at 2, so I might not be able to do as much as I would like to, but I should be able to do something.
So with mind 2, you can read surface thoughts. So if you try to walk them back through a situation so that they think about it, you can get it. You can't delve for it.
No, but he's talking about it and crying, and it seems very on the top of their mind.
So
that's what I was thinking.
You can up or down emotions right now. So you could definitely mute the effect of this as well. You can't heal it, but you can basically give him a painkiller.
Yeah, I would like to make it so that this isn't going to be forever traumatizing.
Okay.
If possible. Also, I don't know if time will make a difference since it's pulling up something that happened previously.
So with mind 2, time 2, you could pull up memories that were on the surface of his mind at a moment that you looked back to. Now, according to how do you do that, rather than rolling against the usual coincidental, vulgar, or, of course, uncanny, elegant difficulties, you usually roll willpower +3 willpower for simple influence effects, and willpower +3 for ones that compel someone to do something they don't want to do. So that's easy in this case. I'm going to say that's permanent willpower, not current willpower, because this guy has no willpower at the moment.
Yeah, I also have read surface thoughts as one of my rotes. However,
Cool.
that impacts things.
So you can go ahead. You're going to be doing this at a difficulty of 3.
Okay.
Yeah, this is elegant.
So sorry, what am I rolling again? My total willpower?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you said?
Yes. No, you're rolling your arete against his willpower.
Against his willpower, okay.
Yeah, which will be a minimum difficulty of 3.
And can I spend a willpower on that?
Mm-hmm. Or you can just take extra time.
I'm gonna take extra time. Like, she'll motion to the others to be like, I'm gonna see what I can do here.
Sure. So take extra time. Basically, what this will mean in this case is just, I would go for, if you're doing a combined effect to try to kind of soothe the pain and read his surface thoughts at the same time, let's say that you're going for 5 successes. That way it is not achievable unless you get a spectacular roll, which means that you're very easily, you will likely hit the 50% margin, which allows you to re-roll the next round.
Okay.
So it's the easy way to work the system.
Okay. I don't have to spend any quintessence for this?
You do not, no.
Okay, so I'm rolling 3 dice. We will see what I get.
Yeah.
What did you say my difficulty was?
3.
I got a 6, a 5, and a 10.
Okay. 6, 5, 10. Oh, damn, you got a 10. Would you like to re-roll it or take it as 2?
With my luck, I'm going to take it as 2.
Okay, so you're at 4 out of 5. You can re-roll the next round.
I will do so.
Okay.
I got a 6 and an 8. And a 2. So that's 2 more, I think.
That's 2 more. Okay, so that is for a total of 6 successes. And let me just check one thing real quick.
Josephine is going to release her grip on the boy when he's like kind of catatonic, and Chastity seems to have this under control.
She's supporting him and kind of like I said, she's got her hands on his shoulders and she's like leaning forward and she's got her eyes closed. And she's just, as she's doing this, she's constantly just uttering these like soothing phrases and like, it's okay, and
I'm just checking duration chart. So right now with 6 successes, you can have the basic effect of this, like a slight numbing, last for up to 6 months.
Okay.
Or actually, Storyteller's option. So what is, I guess that just means however I want. Yeah, if you want this to be like basically lower it at a if you spend a willpower, I will allow you to have this be a permanent effect.
I would like to do that.
Okay.
Just to make it not completely numb it necessarily, but at least
Cool.
make it less present, or make it when he thinks about it that it isn't as
It's just numb. Like it's just like it's just no emotion there at all, just flat. It is a thing, or do you want him to have some?
I want them to be able to heal more than anything. I just don't want it to be like being stuck in a flashback necessarily, so
Okay. Now here's the other part of this. For one, I am going to give you a point of paradox for this.
okay.
For tying this off, and also for something else that I'm not going to describe.
Okay. So just 1 total?
1 total. And as you are leaning in and saying this, what is everyone else doing?
I think Evelyn's just kind of waiting and watching and
I'll say
trying to
Darcie's-
assess what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah, Darcie's keeping an eye out for like people that might be walking by. She's just trying to keep the area clear, I guess, try and just see who's around and might be
Can I get a perception and alertness roll off of everyone who's keeping watch outside? Now, in this field that you're standing in, it is almost black with soot runoff that comes from the upper areas of the city, kind of drifting down.
Would you be able to clarify the difference between alertness and awareness again?
Awareness is supernatural. You could do either if you want. Alertness is I'm throwing an apple at your head. Awareness is I'm throwing a ball of energy at your head.
Okay.
What's the difficulty?
The difficulty of this is going to be 6. You've got a good line of sight on everything. I would actually say difficulty. I'll say difficulty 6 because you'd notice people looking out of windows at you at that point.
So, on 6 dice, I rolled 3 successes and 3 ones.
You're just kind of caught off guard by all of this and the stress of it, and are not really be able to focus down, Evelyn. Chastity, you are in the middle of that. But Josephine, Darcie, what'd you get on your rolls?
I only got 1 success.
I got 3.
Okay. So glancing around, you are going to see, Darcie, that there are some people looking down the alleys at you, just to see what the commotion is. But most of them seem to be fairly... they don't seem to care. Josephine, you will see that from a few houses down, Dinesh is looking down from the broken window at you all. At kind of a skewed angle, just kind of watching. He does a gesture that you assume means okay, like kind of a thumbs uppy to looking thing.
I'll nod and just kind of repeat the gesture back at him.
Okay. And he will vanish from the window. But besides that, there's no one else looking at you. Although you can hear in the distance that you might not have too long before someone of note shows up here. Okay. And as you can hear the sound of running footsteps in the distance, probably someone trying to get a hold of what little... Well, there's no constabulary on the east side, let's be fair. Getting the local big guy with a stick to investigate. Because every community has one of those. And...
Josephine will just kind of mutter to the others, like, we might have company soon.
Meanwhile, Chastity, as you lean your head in and press the surface thoughts down, smoothing out the edges, the boy is cleaning a chimney and finishes up when he hears, as he's plunging in his brush, he hears a scream, muffled, a whimper, and then the sound, almost like a chamber pot being opened or emptied onto the street, the swoosh. He leaves his brush and walks down, nimbly heading down the side of the slanted roof. He leans over and peers through the window. It was not a chamber pot that was fallen on the floor. He will watch bare hands, rolled sleeves, a man dressed in a waistcoat with thick, meaty arms. Each one of his forearms is laced with knotwork tattoos. He works delicately, and the woman is alive as the baby is retrieved. You watch the scene unfold in front of you, and as it does, the man pauses, sets the child down on the bowl, and stands. As he turns toward you, a massive gray greatcloak hanging off of a nearby nail. He turns, and before you can get a good look at his face, you will see that it is full of swarming flies, censoring his face to you like a cloud. He takes a step toward you. Hello, little dove. he says, his voice neutral. You chose the wrong place to come. He walks toward you on the other side of that window, and you are frozen in this moment. I'm going to find you. I'm going to find each of you. Tell your friends, this game is not one they're going to enjoy. Let me leave you with a token of my affection. And he steps through the window as if it were a bit of water. As the memory parts, and he reaches up to your face and goes to grasp you. How many successes did you have on that mind shield?
Oh, I don't remember. That was at the beginning of the game last time.
I believe it was quite
several.
a few. I think it was
seven
like
successes.
7. I knew it was above 5.
Yeah.
So as he goes and puts that blood-dripping hand on toward your face, you are going to see that there is a sigil that is carved into the meat of his hand, similar to the symbol in the center of the Philosopher's Stone symbol, the Ouroboros, in reverse. And as he holds it up to your face, suddenly everything in front of you is going to crystallize as he touches a pane of glass directly in front of your sight. A shield. Charming. Very. He pushes on it, and it holds. But not charming enough. And then it starts to crack. Spiderweb cracks begin spreading across the shield. Let me in, little one. The evil is already inside of you. What would you like to do, Chastity?
She's trying to pull away from this effect, if she can end it.
You are going to try to pull away, and you try to pull away, and as he continues to push at your mind shield, you feel it crack. You can hear the sound of splintering, shattering glass all around you. And then the hand snaps through. But before it can grab you, you pull yourself out. Standing in a field, the boy sags down to the ground, exhausted. He smells terrible. He's covered in urine and feces from where he had hidden for the majority of the day next to the window, too afraid to move. Your shield is down to 1 success. It was almost about to completely shatter on you, but you made it out.
She's just holding the shoulders and staring at this child. He left something in his mind.
Saw the killer?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw him. And he saw me.
Wait, he saw you?
What? Weren't you going into his memories? How?
I did. He left something in the boy's mind.
Was he able to get you?
No, I'm just rattled. Can you... He's unconscious. Can you... And she's gonna just push the kid towards whoever's standing closest. Which, is that Josephine or Darcie?
It's probably Josephine.
Probably Josephine.
Probably,
Just
yeah.
pushes this unconscious child or teenager. Just
In the distance, you hear the sound of approaching footfalls, angry ones. Oi, what are you doing with my boy?
Evelyn will call out, "Oh, sir, oh good, he just fell off the roof. We're trying to make sure he's all right."
The man will
Say
stride
he's
forward.
your son.
He's missed work. This huge, burly, bald man who looks bloated with drink is going to waddle forward, reach down. Wake the fuck up, Eddie. And is going to belt the kid full bore across the cheek with the side of his palm. Wake up! You've got fucking work to do. Yes.
Chastity would like to turn and hurt him somehow.
Sounds
She's
good.
using mind magic, right? Recently?
Yeah.
She would like to... I don't know exactly how she wants to do this, but she basically wants to reach in and, like, stab the thought of... and hurt him
Yeah,
from
you
the
could
thought
just,
of
you could
hurting
just do
someone.
a mind blast.
Yeah, she wants to mind blast him.
Okay, do it. That's going to be at a, this is going to be regular difficulty, so give me a difficulty of, for you, I'll do a difficulty 3.
Okay. And that's just my ret?
That's just your arte, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, feel free to spend a willpower if you want.
I'm gonna spend a willpower. Yeah. So I got a 4, 3, a 1, and a willpower, so...
4, 3, 1, willpower.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is going to be 2 successes. That's going to be 4 levels of bashing damage.
To his psyche.
To his side, it's unsoak. Oh, actually, can you soak brain damage? Oh, it's one of the wings. I can't remember. Not if, you know what, even if he could, I rolled 2 1s. So, and an 8. So even if he did, he's still in quite a bit of pain. He is going to stumble back. And, oh! She...
Sir,
ow!
are you all right?
She did something.
Have you had a lot to drink there, sir? You seem a bit wobbly.
Maybe a bad batch.
Shut the fuck up, cunt. And he is going to try to grab the boy. And
Darcie would like to inflict pain on him too.
okay.
Josephine is going to try and shield the boy from getting grabbed because she's the one
Sounds
who's...
good. Darcie,
got
can you
him.
roll me a d20? Or a d10, I mean? What am I doing? D10?
220, what?
Ooh,
Okay.
D20 difficulty 3.
8.
8? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So as you go to cause pain to him, how are you planning on doing that?
She's just gonna, again, she has her, she's gonna try and, if he's looking like he's gonna go grab the boy while he's kind of turning his face away, she's just gonna try and, like, press into her cut that she has before. She's gonna press into it and try and reopen it a bit to like, bleed her own blood to then inflict pain on him. Kind of muttering in Gaelic as well, just kind of under her breath, like, trying to make it not seem like she's just kind of muttering, like, almost like swearing, like taking a tone.
So you'll be starting to do that. Amy, you wanted to interject something?
Not so much interject, but she's pulling out her riding crop.
Okay.
She's
I'm
ready to...
assuming that you're all mounting up like the regulators that you are. So as the crowd around you, you can see that there's a bit of hostility. Some of the family members that have trailed behind him and the other drinking buddies look like they are about to get a bit rowdy as well. You are surrounded by this contingent that look like they are ready to bring a quartet of haughty bitches to a lesson. Which I think is a great place for us to take a bathroom break. So folks, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. And we're back. Hello, everyone. It's time that we talk to you with Let's Talk to the Chat. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? You all good?
Woo!
Not too bad.
Good.
all
I've
right.
refreshed my tea. I'm here. I'm ready.
Good. Is it good to be back in Mage?
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Someone in the chat was like, I'm getting Major Magicians vibes out of this. Yeah, the face covered by bugs is a great looking. In the Magicians, they have a guy, like, their evil person is like this person whose face is just like obscured by moths. Like, even when you meet him, they're covered by moths. I was like, in psychic impressions, I definitely want covered by flies. I'm using flies as a, if you couldn't tell, flies are a metaphor in this series for certain things. Happy things, of course, all of them, not involving corruption at all.
Everything in Mage is happy.
Everything in Mage is
yeah.
happy. It's the happiest game.
It's the happiest game on earth.
I keep listening to music.
I was gonna say, so says the mind magic.
Yeah,
the
you're
happiest
happy.
game.
All you have to do is draw 3 circles, and watch. I can do it. I was getting my initiative chart ready, but we'll just delete that. See, you just have to draw 3 circles, and then everyone's happy, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't quite see that, but I have a
No.
feeling no.
There you go.
Ah.
You get what I'm putting down.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the epic rap battle that actually just is like...
It's so good.
It's so good. My Empire of Joy. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me Walt Disney was not a technocrat. Mm-hmm. And you know what?
Or at least was run by technocrats, yeah.
I think Walt Disney was a technocrat himself. Like,
I believe it.
Like, the, all of those guys, Disney, Henry Ford, like just all of them are just ridiculous.
When you have that like creativity plus ideas and you use it to build a corporation, yes.
Oh, that's right.
That's technocracy.
What could you do? You could change the world, or, hear me out, I could run a monopoly, or I could send a giant space dick into orbit.
Yeah.
Also, a
Now
reminder
you're compensating.
Also, a reminder, everybody, to use your Amazon Prime free subscription here to give me some of Space Dick's money.
That's what I do.
Space
Let's
bucks.
Space bucks. So, all right, quick shill at the moment, folks. If you enjoy what we do here, don't forget it's September, so you can sub for 20% off to give some money back to the channel, which will be helpful, because this is my job. Which has been really, really difficult this month. Oh my god, getting back into all of these games and all the new games started, because I also do editing work on the side to, help pay the bills. And it's supposed to be like a part-time job. However, there are tons of special events because this is an anniversary year for the organization I edit for. So I have done 250% of my workload this month already. I am so tired today. I got home from working at a live event where I was doing photography and interviewing people, and I fell asleep on the couch, like watching an episode of TV to kind of like come down and get into mindset. I fell asleep I was vertical and then I was not. I don't know what happened, but it was give me the space money, give me space bucks. But on the way back, Jen, you're going to like this. I was listening to a bunch of stuff on repeat in the car, and there sure are some songs that would go well for a Mage playlist.
Uh-huh.
Just saying. But you don't have any time for that. So, for further maging. This is one of those times where
Bastard.
It feels like Jen might be clearing her schedule for more mage time.
Yeah. I've got a couple of games I want to run. I can't run them until I have more free time, though. I'm kind of trying to limit myself because the Candlekeep era of Dork Tales was a bit much. It was like 6 to 7 days a week. That was a little too much. Even right now, I'm like, so much of what I'm running right now is organically created rather than module based, and that takes a lot more time. It took really good stuff. There was so the song that I'm talking about is one that is really good for the first half, and it's Take the Pill by it's an indie artist. But the problem that I have with it is you can read it in two different ways. You can read it in a way where it's decrying the pharmaceutical industry in a anti-vax way, if you want to read it that way, or you can read it like a disenfranchised mage who has had antidepressants crammed down their throat their entire life to control them and neuter their personality, which is very much like the grunge punk mage 1990s 2000s vibe, you know, before that
I
whole
played a character kind of like that.
Well, it's kind of weird, right? Because like today we're like, the idea of like, hey, take your pills is like, it's not as bad as it was a decade ago. Like, that was an insult. Now it's like, hey, remember to take your pills because these are genuine things. Hey, wear your glasses. They help you see.
Like,
right?
take your pills.
I mean, like, I want to do an ADHD stream here where we just talk more about ADHD. And I think that one of the things that is really important, and any of you can hit me up, by the way, on Discord if you want to talk about this, like, and if you're watching on YouTube or listening on podcast, join our Discord. You can hit me up about this. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just a dude who's had prescribed ADHD or diagnosed ADHD, ADD for 30 plus years. A lot of, even if you don't think you have it, you might. And it's a genuine condition that affects your life in a lot of ways you might not consider, like socially, economically, romantically. It does a lot of things that make life more difficult and can be a primary cause or roommate of your depression or anxiety. So
yes. And as a late diagnosed female with ADHD, I am also happy to chat because did you know your hormones fuck everything up?
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
A lot of stuff
should
gets
go
caught
for
falls through the cracks, and it's a
some
bad
sort
time.
of diagnosed, but I have not. I probably should, but yes.
It's weird, right? Because and also 88, and this is a blanket generalization. So obviously it is not specific, but ADHD, ADD, I'm going to use the same term for both because they're basically the same condition. It's just flavors.
It's all under ADHD now anyway. So
They used to differentiate, now they really don't.
Yeah.
Symptomology presents differently in people who were usually people who were raised male versus raised female. That's not a blanket. Like, obviously there are outliers there, but usually people who were it's usually a raising thing, right? Just the way that men and women are raised. No,
it's a.
Is it actually
It's actually a gender-based thing as well, because often hyperactivity in girls will look like helping people. It'll be like getting out of your seat to help people in school, and with boys it is just like off the wall sometimes hyperactivity. And it also depends what type of ADHD you have, because if you have the inattentive type, which is the ADD version, then you're more likely to just be the quiet, really good at school person. And if you have the other type, the hyperactive type, not so much.
So the two really easy examples for differentiation is that Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes is your or Bart Simpson is your classic like ADHD boy.
Yeah.
Hyperactive, acts out, rejection sensitive dysphoria. I would say that quite a good one is Luna Lovegood on the other side. Because a lot of ADHD women come off as very kind of like a little bit spacey or ditzy at times too. It can present that way. And and someone was just heard that women don't get diagnosed for ADD or it's way harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
These fall through the cracks because they don't recognize it as what ADHD should look like, so to speak. It doesn't, even though it's all there, it just doesn't get it's not been codified.
Also,
so they get ignored.
A lot of the drugs that people are prescribed are stimulant medication, and for a while, at least, I seem to remember there was a pervasive theory that women wanted to get prescribed to lose weight, which that's not sexist. That's not awful and sexist at all.
I hadn't heard that one, but I believe it.
A lot of people are like,
terrible.
you just want to take amphetamines to lose weight, or you know.
I hadn't heard that one, but wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 34. I'm 34. Uh, that's an age. I was diagnosed last year. I spent 12, 18 months on the wait list to get diagnosed but so a year before that roughly was when I was talking with you, Kelly, and being like, yeah, so I drink like 4 energy drinks a day, including one at like before I go to bed at night. And you're like, that's a symptom of ADHD. I was like, fuck.
So, Krista in the chat actually says sometimes you do get diagnosed with ADD, but you're actually bipolar. So, a little 30-second version of my story. So here's the deal. When I was in college, the first time before I went back to work into my master's, I had been diagnosed with ADD when I was like 6 and had been on Ritalin for. Don't prescribe your kids Ritalin. Don't give them on Ritalin. That is my official Ritalin survivor. It is the worst medication ever for me, and I've heard horror stories from other people. Find a better option. Even I would say that like meditation and mindfulness training is better than Ritalin, but that's just me. So I was on it for quite a while. It was very, very bad for me. Had a lot of physiological side effects, and I hated it. So I dropped off of it when I went into junior high and didn't take anything. So I was finishing up my last degree and was finding that I was really getting depressed a lot. And I thought I had depression. And in fact, I would have these like phases of like manic energy and then super bleak depression. And I thought I was manic depressive. I thought that I was either manic depressive, bipolar, something like that. So I went and saw a psychologist. And I was like, yeah, so like I feel like just incredibly like bleak depression, like really like bad thoughts, like type of thing. And then I feel fine. He's like, well, what's your routine around this? I'm like, well, it happens the most when I'm at work because I do like partial security work. So I have to like building security and lockup work. So like I show up at work and it just gets worse as the shift goes. And then toward the end of the shift, it gets better. He's like, huh, well, run me through it. I'm like, okay, well, I get there. Like I clock in, I grab my keys, I go look around, I go get a cup of coffee. I hang out, I do a quick perimeter check, I get another cup of coffee. And by the end of the conversation, it's like, oh, you drank 5 cups of coffee in a single night and then you felt better? And I'm like, I guess. Do you have trouble sleeping? No. And you've been previously diagnosed with attention deficit disorder. I'm like, yeah. And you're not on any medication? No. Yeah, you are. You're self-medicating with 5 cups of coffee in a 4-hour shift.
That'll do it.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, I don't think you're bipolar, man. I think your ADD is presenting with rejection-sensitive dysphoria, intrusive thoughts, comorbid depression and anxiety. And why don't we like get you on a trial run of some dextrin and see how your life goes? And it was fine. It was fine. I managed to fight my way through school the first time. I went back like 5 years later to get my master's, and it was the easiest thing I've ever done. Like being able to like, did you know that you can read a book that you don't want to read if you have to?
Fancy that.
Right? With ADD, you can't.
Yeah, I'll add one more thing before I get off this topic.
Yeah.
But there's also this myth that's very prevalent that ADHD is a children's disorder. That when you become an adult, you grow out of it. Total lie. You might cope better.
Yeah. It's called survival mechanisms. But yeah, it doesn't get better. You just get better. And ADD is a phenomenal gift, and it's min-maxing your stats. That's basically what it is. But anyway, I'd love to talk more about this later. Sorry, we got off topic. I did want to say, though, that I'm really excited coming up that we have another game that's starting this week that I hope you all tune into. On Tuesday night, we're having the episode 0 of Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which is a brand new module from Wizards of the Coast. I am picking up my book same day to come home and run us through who our characters are. Episode 0 is going to be uncostumed. You get to talk to us, meet the characters. It's going to be kind of a big group discussion as we build the game, and then it's going to run on Monday nights in the old Rime of the Frostmaiden slot. It is going to be phenomenal. I hope. I hope. And then the following week, we are doing the episode 0 for our Deadlands campaign. Cattle Drive? I don't know. I don't know what they're called in Deadlands. And I'll have some material about that very shortly. And yeah, was there anything else that we wanted to touch on real quick before we hop back in? Any good news from anybody? Christine had a phenomenal birthday stream the other day. So
That was very good.
It was pretty great.
It was pretty great. And then
There's lots of emotes available now.
That's true. And then Amy is great.
What?
I don't know,
Why?
you're great.
I started kind of
Okay.
streaming, sort of.
Yeah, you did. Oh my god, I
You
forgot about that.
did. Yeah.
I was gonna raid you the other night, but I was like, I don't know if Jen it was on your first night. I was like, I can bring like 60 people over to you, but I don't know if you want me to. I was like,
I
was like, you'd either really like it or you'd be like, you son of a bitch. You didn't
I mean,
warn
it'd
me.
probably be both, but yeah, no, I'm just doing it kind of randomly. You know, I've named it like ADHD game zone because I have no idea when I'm going to stream or what I'm going to stream. So it's a thing. It's surprising to everyone.
ADD facts. Anyway, basically, right? When the mood hits you. All right. So with that, I think we should head back into game. Take a drag of your coffee.
I'll take water because, man, I have to work tomorrow.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, dude, it's my Sunday today. It's my Sunday.
All right.
Sad.
So I hope you all tune into Witchlight if you can. It's going to be rad. It's going to be the Rhymecast, but we couldn't get Mike back for that one. So in order to make up for their absence, I brought 2 people in because they're worth 2 people. So we get Krista and Caitlin. So we get 2 more C's. It is a lot of C's in that game. We got CCCRH. Kira. I don't know. All right, so it has been a long week, and I'm really happy to round it out with y'all here in Mage the Ascension. And I can't lie that I've got the bug for more, but we'll talk about that next time. All right, we're going to head back in. Ooh. We have so much more we could talk about. We need to do a just chatting sometime soon. One moment while I just pick out the right fight music, because that one was a little abrupt. We'll say, I think the accident was what was the right one. Yeah, it's a little too much. Sorry. Sorry, it's a little too aggressive. Stand and fight sounds like a good one. Yeah, it's closer. All right. Welcome back to Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age. The crowd gathers round some of the drinking buddies of this large father who you have just hammered into with mind magic. He looms overhead, one of his eyes filling up with blood as the capillaries inside of his eyeball burst from the strain that you've put into his head, Chastity. He looks around angrily and grabs down at the boy again, who's lying at your feet unconscious, even through the slap that racked his teeth together. And I would like... can I get an initiative roll? So, Darcie, you rolled an 8 on your initiative roll, I believe, on the dice.
Oh, was I supposed to add something to that?
Yeah, go ahead and add your score to that. And,
Okay, so...
It's, what was it, Dex and Wits to your initiative?
Dex and Wits plus a D10.
Mm-hmm.
And 10s explode if you have a specialty, right?
If you have a specialty.
Does crisis mode count as a specialty?
I'll allow it.
Awesome.
I think it's hilarious that you put crisis mode as yours, so that's great.
I figured, like, ships, like, you need to act, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so,
Okay. All right, so what is your total?
22.
Okay. Real quick, looking in the chat, I see Chastity has a 14. Then, I should roll for you. Oh man, you rolled really low. Darcie and Evelyn, who has the higher modifier on this? What is your bonus to the roll?
5.
6.
Okay. So,
Darcie's going last. Of the group, of the 4, She's going last.
Okay. All right. So seeing this in front of you, Darcie, you're going to kind of gather your stuff up, preparing to like melt this man's internal organs as you start to like fumble around for the right thing. And we're going to go ahead and start in the top of the initiative with Josephine.
Cool. So I see that at the very least, Chastity and Darcie are prepared to knock the shit out of these guys.
Yes. There are a total of 3 of these hulking brutes behind, as well as some hangers-on in the background that were drinking with them, but they don't appear like they are getting in here. You're getting the immediate sense that these 3 men are going to teach y'all a lesson.
Cool. And I've got an unconscious boy who's just been hit, or has he woken up from that?
He's exhausted and is barely conscious. That blow kind of rattled his brains around.
Fair. All right, I'm going to pull out a small little piece of rope that I have tied around the boy's wrist and give him a kinetic shield.
Okay, that sounds good. Make me an Rattray roll. This is going to be at a difficulty of it's difficulty of, I'll say 4. Actually, we do difficulty 5 because it's oh no, the rope is your specialty focus, if I'm not mistaken.
It's not my unique focus. Correspondence has my unique, but
it is like your special one.
Yeah, for forces, yeah. So, what was the difficulty? Sorry.
Difficulty of 5.
5. Okay. 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. So that will that'll last the round for sure. Give him a bit of a boost. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The man is going to leer back and line up a shot directly at your face as you're hanging over him. Get your hands off my. And as he brings his hand open, because you're a woman, he's not going to waste his knuckles on you. You are going to see the silvered tip of a cane jut up between his elbow and the back of his neck. And, holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. There is going to be a twisting motion, and this man is quite large. He's about 5'11" and about 3 feet wide, and about 3 feet deep, if you get my meaning, as well. With a man this impoverished being this fat explains how scrawny his son is. With a quick motion, the ground beneath you is fallow field, but it is littered with stones. One of them, suddenly, is married to this man's face, as there is a cacophonous crunching noise as a cane twists and slams him into the ground, and you are going to see Lord Macduff standing behind there going, I think the boys had enough. And that's his turn. The man has taken... I gotta roll strength damage on that. He got 6 successes to do the maneuver.
Wow.
That is... that's only 5 points of bashing damage. And the guy did not soak at all. Okay, so that guy has not much remaining. He's going to crash into the ground. Chastity, you are kind of there, hovering in front.
All right, yeah, she's pulling her riding crop off of her belt, and she's gonna. And is he on the ground? Did you say?
This guy is face first on the ground. Basically, a cane just jumped behind his head, and like he got basically judo tossed face down into a cobblestone. Is the quick way to explain it. It's an errant rock that was in the middle of the ground, and you are going to see teeth scatter across your boot like a set of dice.
All right. Okay. Cool. She's gonna move forward, step forward, and she's going to plant her foot in the back of his spine and lean down. She's putting some pretty hefty amount of weight on this, and she's gonna like grab him by the back of his head and turn it so she can get a look at his face. And the other hand, she's got her riding crop, and she's got that like right up against his face, and she's gonna look at see if he's conscious.
It is a bare thing.
Yeah.
His consciousness. Looking at his face was a mistake.
Yeah.
First of all, it is flattened. His front teeth have completely shattered off at the root. They were not knocked out.
Okay. All right, yeah. So she's grabbing the back of his head. She's got her rather threateningly, like, right up by his face, like near his, where he can, like, right by his eye. And she's gonna lean down and she's gonna say, listen up, you shit stain.
All right. Now
Don't you? And she's got another little more to say. Sorry.
Please.
Like, listen up, you shit stain. If you lay a single finger on another child in your life, I'm going to make sure you fucking regret it. Don't you fucking dare. And can I intimidate the shit out of him?
You can make me charisma plus intimidation, please.
Sure. Can I add bold? I have bold as a specialty.
This is bold.
Okay. Instead, intimidation plus charisma. And now bold just gives me the reroll on 10s, right?
Yes.
It doesn't do anything else? Okay. Can I? Oh, fuck. I want to add a mind effect to this as well to, like, make it stick. Because... this is kind of her focus.
Sure. Make me so you'll have to make an Rattray roll instead versus his willpower plus 3. So that is going to be difficulty of 6.
Okay.
Are you trying to traumatize him?
I'm trying to make him never, like, try to abuse a kid again.
Through trauma? Are you trying to fear? Okay, cool. Difficulty 4.
Difficulty 4 on my arret. Okay. Can I willpower this?
You may. Yes.
Okay. Spend one of my willpower.
Okay. How many
This
successes
is
are you shooting
absolutely
for?
her focus. I'm trying to go for... Oh, shit. I mean, if this isn't enough on the first round, she's still holding on and she's going to keep threatening him. So...
Okay.
That's a 5, a 3, and a 10.
Okay. So do you want to reroll the 10 or take it as 2?
I'm going to reroll the 10. Okay, so that just ended up giving me 2 total anyway. So it's a total of 4 plus my willpower, so 5?
5 successes. Are you trying to make this permanent?
I would like to.
Okay, then you are not quite there. You'll have to go again next round. But you are on the cusp of that kind of grinding into him. Evelyn, 2 of his drinking buddies are eyeing the scene angrily and are kind of rounding about. One of them, seeing Lord Macduff slam this guy into the ground, is going to dig a knife out of his pocket. And it's basically a folding knife. Is going to flick it open. You are going to notice behind that Dinesh is hurrying down the alley as well. Okay. And is going to be in scene in just a second. So he's moving quicker than they are. But you are first.
Can I use alter probability on my intimidation skill? I would like to try and either scare the crap out of them or make them seriously pause and think for a moment so that he can catch up.
Yes, you may. So what we're gonna do is, how would you do this? What is the scientific basis for this? Are you just going to, like, flash your umbrella at them like you're scaring birds, or like?
No, I think it's probably something to give myself a boost of confidence in order to be able to pull off being intimidating.
Okay.
So I think smelling salts.
Okay, that sounds good. So make me an Rattray roll at a difficulty of 4.
Okay.
And this will be elegant.
3 successes.
3 successes. Okay, so that is going to, for this round, let's say it lowers your difficulty by 3 so make me a presence and intimidation roll at difficulty of 4.
Charisma?
Sure, if you're trying to be, charisma.
Presence doesn't exist.
Oh, sorry.
That's why I'm asking. I don't know
running
it.
too much Nuwad. Chronicles. Sorry. I was just writing a vampire supplement. So
and then my intimidation is at 3 from those successes, correct?
No, it means your difficulty is down to difficulty 4.
Okay, so do I have to minus anything for not having intimidation then?
No, you don't.
Okay, so it would just be rolling the charisma dice.
Yeah. Were you trying to use it to add dice instead?
Well, because that's what it says, is replace your 0 in this ability with successes.
Oh, sorry. My mistake. There are many different ways to do this.
Okay, that's just what we had in my routes. So.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and just roll that instead against a difficulty of 7.
Okay.
Mage is basically how do I cheat the rules, the game. So there are 100 ways to do everything with every ability, which is why a lot of people have trouble running it.
Okay, that is 5 successes.
Okay.
So I just want to kind of hold my umbrella straight out, like as close to his throat as I can get, and just say, in the coldest, just iciest facial expression and voice I can, I think you have somewhere else to be. Just very polite, but very just dead cold.
That one is going to take a step back and stumble, and is going to start like, I want no trouble. He's going to start muttering, but it's not his turn, so he can't do anything else. Darcie, there is still one man who is kind of advancing on the side. I need to know, though, Evelyn, was that the one with the knife or the one without the knife?
Seeing the knife, I was going to go for him first.
Okay.
Just because that's the most obvious threat in that moment.
Yes. Now, the other one, I will say, Darcie, is the bruiser of the bunch. 6'3", a shaved head with many wrinkles down the back, like a giant oversized bulldog that's grown into a farm boy. Well, farm man, I should say. A pale-skinned Michael Clark Duncan-looking guy looms into view, and he looks like the type of man with a smirk on his face leaning over you, and the kind of quizzical brow that just, single brow, by the way, that quirks up at his now cowardly compatriot. He thought that we were all about to enjoy a nice beating, and is a little confused at what is going on here.
Okay, how close
He is looming for. He will be able to reach you right now if you don't do something.
Okay, I'm of two minds right now. I either want to do the curse of matcha again on him, or I want to put forces behind and punch him because I have melee.
Put forces behind a kick to the balls.
Yeah, then it does the same effect.
Yes, true. So yeah, Darcie's gonna run up and like kick him in the balls.
A kick to the balls, if it doesn't drop you into aggravated damage, is almost always coincidental or elegant.
True. So yes, I would like to put forces
Everybody
behind
expects that.
Everybody expects it. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll your irate first. So this is going to be against a difficulty of, it's forces 2 to increase your damage. So that is going to be difficulty of 5.
Okay. And I'm going to spend a willpower on that.
Also, women's shoes in this era.
Women's shoe, that is going to give another +1 to the damage roll if she connects.
It's what Josephine was going to do if nobody else did by the time we got back around to me.
I feel like that's something Evelyn might start looking into, is reinforcing her shoes.
4. Okay,
Yeah,
so
with the willpower, that'll be 4.
okay, so that is to you. That is only for 1 round. So that is going to be okay. I need you to make me a dexterity and brawl roll at a difficulty of 7 to aim for a specific region.
Not melee?
No, melee is weaponry.
Ah, fuck. Oh, shit. Okay, I would have, I would have done points another way then. I would have put,
Well, we'll talk about that after game.
yeah. So, dexterity and brawl. Okay.
You need 1 success. That's it.
Okay. Difficulty of 6?
7.
7. Fuck. I botched. No successes and a 1.
Okay. Congratulations. That is amazing. I appreciate you. I want to put that out there. And
This is my second time I've botched this skin.
it's so good. Okay, so
I mean, it kind of works with the character type, though, right? You're new to this.
okay,
she's
so
very new to this.
you know what? I'm going to randomize this. So right next to you, there is. So there's Lord Macduff, who's pinning the guy to the ground. There's the guy on the ground with Chastity on top. And then I guess to one side there is Evelyn. So what we're going to do is I want you to roll me a d10, and we're going to go from guy on the ground to Macduff to Chastity to Evelyn, and then to Josephine.
Oh boy.
So go ahead and roll.
4.
Okay, so oh god damn it.
I feel like that's Chastity, isn't it?
No, that's Lord Macduff, because each one was counting for 2 points because it's a D10.
Oh, I thought you were going like around the circle
Nope.
twice.
So I need you to do me a favor and make me a strength +9 roll.
He is the best option in this scenario.
Oh my god, he's gonna hate me.
For us, out of character.
Strength +9.
Strength?
+9, difficulty 6.
I have 1 die for strength.
Cool,
I'm
so roll
hoping
10 dice, please, worth of bashing damage that you're inflicting.
Oh, I'm not adding 9 to it. I'm just rolling 10 die. Okay.
You're rolling 10 dice, yeah.
I don't think I've ever rolled damage before, so this is a new thing for me.
So you're doing difficulty 6.
Okay.
And then he gets a soak roll, so that's lucky.
Oh my god. Do 10s do anything on damage?
Yeah, they'll count as double. Why not?
Fuck. 4.
Well, at least it won't be Evelyn that necessarily
8.
has all of his ire.
9 successes.
9 successes?
I rolled a 5 of 4, and then everything else was 8, 9, or 10
Okay.
on the die.
How many?
9
many?
I think we have a new dice goddess.
9 successes because I rolled 2 10s.
Okay, so he's pinning him to the ground. You are going to rear back, and the guy is going to look as you angle on him. This man has been kicked in the balls so many times in his life through street fights that he just kind of steps out of the way, which is going to cause your ankle to hit a bit of mud, and you are going to spin around, catching Macduff in the side of the temple and spinning him off of his feet across the field. He has taken 9 points of damage as he plunges to the ground. His hat rolls across the field, and he looks unconscious.
I guess that's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Fuck.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. What the hell? Oh my god, that was great, Darcie. I appreciate that.
Beautiful.
Okay.
I like that all of a sudden Evelyn is not the most hated member.
Oh, do me a favor, by the way. That's going to, that was so big that is going to get you 1 more point of paradox.
Oh boy, lucky number 7.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm saving up for something.
I know you are. I'm scared.
It's great. There is going to be a quick motion as Dinesh walks into the scene. Sorry, what did I miss? And there is a flash of almost like a mirror flashing at your face. And he turns to the giant man, and at that point you're going to notice that there is a large curved knife pushed at the nape of his throat, going, I'm sorry, I think the lady asked you to leave. And then that is the point that your foot is going to, like, as he looks, what did you... So the big bruiser is going to see the knife, and let's see whether or not he has survival. He does not have a survival instinct. That is, he is going to try to grab the knife. So let's do the game where the NPC rolls off against the NPC. Oh damn, he's actually really good at this. Oh my god, what? But my Euthanatos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 successes versus. Dinesh is going to put that, he's going to look over at where Macduff was booted across 10 feet of field, and in that second he looks away, the big man is going to catch him by the wrist, twist the kukri out of it, and drop an epithet about his Indian heritage, that, or a slur about it that I'm not going to repeat.
As you do in Victorian period.
You can imagine what type of bullshit that would be. So we're just going to do that. He's going to grab that as his action. He is now holding the knife, brandishing it, and it looks like his next step is applying directly to Dinesh. Top of the initiative with Josephine. Josephine, this is right in front of you. What do you do?
I would like to unmute myself. That would be the first step.
I'll allow it.
Um, yeah, I would like to. I would like to obtain that knife for myself.
Okay, how would you like to do this?
Is there a way? So, okay. I have a couple of options here, and I'm not sure which is the best one. So I'm just going to say them.
Sure.
One is to attempt to kick him in the balls like Darcie did, but that didn't go very well the last time.
No. It's more from the hip.
No, Darcie, like this.
To be fair, Darcie has probably kicked very few men in the balls.
True.
This is
The only
life.
person that she's been assaulted by was her ex that she blasted.
Also,
with
Darcie,
lightning.
roll one more die. I forgot about your boots.
Oh.
Do I have to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
An 8.
Oh, God.
I
Okay.
hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
Minus 10 bashing. Also, he failed
my
his soak roll.
Why?
Ouch.
My next move is to heal him. Like
That's probably a
I
great
don't-
idea.
You know, it's the thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So yeah, I can do that, or I could. I want to like maybe try and grab him at the wrist and apply pressure. I also have correspondence and don't know if I could just like.
yes,
try.
you can just teleport the blade to your hand.
Okay,
It will cost you an extra success.
cool. Can I do that while I'm like, I'm gonna say kicking at him to distract him. It doesn't matter if that one connects.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Cool.
that's part of your bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, so with correspondence range, so what we're gonna do is correspondence range is a line of sight, so it's literally right there. You need 1 success for the basic range,
Okay.
and then because you have correspondence 2.
Yes.
Okay, so line of sight is all you need. This is going to be this. Ooh, God, would this be catastrophic? Okay, it's catastrophic, we'll say. So
Yeah.
I have to remind
Well,
myself.
there are sleepers watching.
Oh, there are sleepers watching. Yeah.
That doesn't count in straights.
Yeah, it
No?
doesn't count into the straights, and like not really. I am just going to check one thing real quick to see because
It just doesn't count the same way it does in determining vulgar versus coincidental.
yeah, it's more for disbelief, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just going to look up the rules for catastrophic.
Like if I was doing something bizarre, but in a place where that might not be as bizarre, if sleepers were watching, it would be uncanny. If I was doing the same thing in a place where it would be bizarre and sleepers were watching, it would be catastrophic. So it doesn't really matter.
I mean, that's just what I figured
Fair
was like having somebody watch something disappear and reappear into your hand is pretty obviously like weird for just about anywhere.
This is true. That's why it would be catastrophic regardless of where we were.
Yeah, I think so. Unless it was somewhere where that for some reason was, but I can't think of that.
Or
So-
I like reached into a bag and pulled out a similar knife and maybe he just dropped his, but I don't have that right now. So
yeah, you don't have the time or energy for that. So
no.
uncanny, catastrophic governs feats of paranormal might, summoning a stone, transforming into an elephant, turning a person into a mouse, aging someone within seconds. Well, let me double check uncanny real quick just to see. Yeah, you know what? Let's do catastrophic. It's just on the edge, but
Really is. Yeah.
So I'll let's do that just to see it.
Sure.
And so that's going to be difficulty 7 for this for your arete.
Cool. I'm gonna spend a quintessence to.
Difficulty 6.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 successes.
2 successes is exactly what you needed. 1 to see it, 1 to take someone's possession. This will be much more difficult if this is someone's personal belonging. But it's not. He literally just grabbed it. It's the first time he's ever touched it. So there's no sympathetic connection there. So you are going to take a swing at him, and suddenly the knife is going to be in your hand, and that is going to be, let's check the old paradox chart.
It's 2.
Is it just 2? It's so...
It's just 2 unless I botch.
Unless you... Oh, then it's a lot.
Then it's a lot.
All right, so that's going to be... so you're at 4 points now, if I'm not mistaken.
I am. Yep.
Okay, not quite enough for anything bad. As the knife jumps to your hand, you're going to... He's... What the fuck?
I'm going to smirk at him. Be like, let's go.
The other man who was scrabbling backwards from Evelyn's umbrella and attitude is going to... It's witchcraft! And is going to scramble to his feet and just take off running away. He is down the alley, pushing people over. Very
I don't know if anybody but the bruiser in front of me sees this, and he may not even notice it. I'm just kind of like, well, duh. Like...
That is fantastic. And Chastity, it's your turn because Lord Macduff is not conscious.
Right. Now you said I had to do another round to make the effect stick that I was working on.
To make it permanent, yes.
Yeah. So I'll do that again. It's just my Arete again.
It's your Arete again. Against a difficulty of 5 this time.
Okay. That's 3 successes, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
What emotion? So whenever he tries to raise his hand to strike a child again, he is going to risk having a heart attack from the terror that he is going to feel.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
And as she finishes up with that, she's gonna tap him like on the cheek and say "good boy" and then stand up and step away.
Okay, that is fantastic. You are that is elegant too, because the situation literally... Okay, you can release that. That is going to be a permanent standing effect.
All right, yeah. So she just like will stand like tap, like I said, tap on the cheek, say "good boy," stand up, and like lift her foot off his back and turn to look at what's going on with the rest of the people. And I guess that's the rest of her full turn.
Evelyn, this giant bruiser is there, now flanked by a very surprised Dinesh and a very armed Josephine, with you kind of just off to the side to the left.
Okay, well, I think they've got that under control. I'm more worried about Lord Macduff, as he seems to be the one helping us make sense of all this. So I am going to go over to him and do a medicine check and try and aid him.
He is bleeding profusely from a wound on the side of his temple, where it looks like his skull was cracked by a kick.
Okay. I'm going to try and...
Make me a wits and medicine roll, please.
Yeah. Wits and medicine. Holy shit. Well, that's 3 10s and a 9.
Okay, so you apply pressure to it, feeling the bones underneath. If you are someone who believes in the ridges of the head giving personality, you think that this might change his personality a bit.
Okay.
Which for some reason I forget the term for that, even though I should obviously remember it.
Oh, phrenology.
Thank you. It was... Maybe I'm getting old. I don't know. All right, so you are going to apply to the wound. And at that point, though, I would really like Chastity. Can you do me a favor?
What's up?
Can you make me a perception and alertness roll at a difficulty of 8?
Perception and alertness. Okay.
Or awareness, actually.
They're the same for me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Difficulty of 8, you said?
Yes.
2 successes.
As you are standing up off of this man who has been pounded into the pavement and is barely conscious, you are going to ruffle his shirt and coat a bit. And as you do, it's going to pull down his collar. And on on his collarbone, right on the side of his throat, you are going to see a burn mark. Shaped like a circle that's eating itself. Like the one that you saw on the killer's hand.
Oh, shit.
And glancing up with that other success, you are going to see the barest bit of, on the big man, exposed reddened flesh on the same location where his shirt tucks down. Not the mark, but you see, like, the surrounding inflammation of a blister.
Right.
This looks fresh, by the way. Like it was done within the last few hours. And so that was Evelyn. Darcie, it is your turn. Evelyn is applying pressure to the wound. What do you do?
Darcie's gonna run over there and heal.
Okay,
Heal.
that sounds fantastic. All right, make me an Rattray roll. This is going to be with using your mother's spellbook. I'm gonna say it's difficulty of 4.
Also, this is during the day, right?
This is, I mean, it's never really day in the slums of London, but yes, this is at about 4 or 5 p.m. I think at this point.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, then none of my witching out moon stuff is applying yet. So I just want to know if I have that because that is also my cyclic magic. So yeah, I'm gonna spend a willpower to gaining success on that as well because I feel real.
And you have life 3, so this is going to be direct 2 points of healing per success.
Per success, yep.
And this will be uncanny.
Awesome. There goes number 8. Does with Rattray?
Speaking to the mic.
Ken's double. Sorry.
The tens will explode. We're going big with magic.
Yeah, cool. All right. Okay. That's gonna be 5 successes.
Okay, so that's going to be 10 points of healing. He is as you press the compress as you press your handkerchief to his head, Evelyn, you are going to feel beneath your fingertips the actually, you know what, that would probably be elegant. You're literally just like touching him as a woman gives tender ministrations to him, and this is Victorian London. So what do you guys think? Should it be elegant, or should she get a point of paradox because of how quickly it just completely knits and all the blood's gone?
I feel like it's elegant because Evelyn's holding like probably a handkerchief to it. Like this is something they would probably take as just like, oh, it's totally storybook. The pretty girl healed him, right?
That's fair.
They don't know that it's actually Darcie doing it.
Okay. So
which I was gonna note that if he comes to looking at Evelyn, she does have enchanting eyes.
Okay.
Also, Darcie is very charming for her charisma.
Oh, fair. You guys are all going after Gerard Butler. It's not like today. It's like 10 years ago, Gerard Butler. Like 40s. Not his most recent role. Although he's still cool.
I'm picturing him in the Bounty Hunter movie.
Yeah. It's about on par with that.
Yeah. Now, see, I just figure it might make him slightly more disposed towards Evelyn.
As
instead of like
to Darcie's
really being
like saying, "I am so sorry. I am so sorry," as she's healing him.
His eyes will flash open, and he will sit up suddenly.
Are you okay?
I am so sorry.
Did you kick me?
I was aiming for the big brute over there. I slipped my ankle in mud, and I am so sorry.
That was a hell of a kick.
Are you feeling better now?
He'll just start laughing, a hoarse kind of slowly building neighing laughter that builds into like a deep like ow. Oh, it doesn't hurt. All right, so that's going to be y'all. It is Dinesh's turn. Dinesh is going to see this and is going to just he's going to try to crank this dude in the face. Okay, so Dinesh shouldn't have a sword at all. He should just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes to crank this guy in the... I'm going to say it's a punch to the throat. So that is going to be 9 dice of damage. I really wish he had a strength specialty. I rolled so many 10s on damage, guys. Like, I rolled more than three 10s on damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay. Just one moment, because NPCs fighting NPCs is... Okay. So the big man is going to try to duck out of the way, but he's too distracted by looking at you teleporting a knife into your hand, Josephine. As he does, Dinesh is just going to lean forward, or kind of surge forward and pump his elbow into the man's Adam's apple. There's going to be a sickening crunch as that part of his throat crushes in, and he is going to grab for it, kind of stumbling toward you. I'm going to say that he loses his action from that. Josephine, it is your turn. What would you like to do? The knife is very heavy and has a thick spine along the back that could be used to not cut his head off if you wanted to give him a whack. He is stumbling. It is a perfect shot if you wanted to take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it.
Cool. This is going to be a dex or strength, your call, and melee roll at a difficulty of 5. No defense required.
Awesome.
Actually, you know what? He's stunned enough. I'm going to call it a difficulty 4.
Cool.
This is as easy as putting on a pair of pants.
Cool. I'm still gonna spend a willpower because I really don't like this guy.
Yeah, might as well.
I am glad I did. That is 2 successes.
Okay, so do me a favor. So the back of a kukri is going to deal, give me strength plus 4 in bashing damage. So whatever your strength is, I don't know. Probably 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's 2. Difficulty 6, right?
Difficulty 6.
These are all successes. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Oh, damn.
And 10s don't explode unless I have the specialty, right? On the undamaged too?
That is correct.
Yeah, okay. Just clarifying.
But you know what? He has a stamina specialty in taking punishment. It didn't help. He got 2 successes on that, even with the 10, because I rolled some 1s. You are going to just chop down, connecting at the base of his skull with this, and he is going to collapse to the ground in a heap. Just... The rest of the crowd is going to just shriek and panic and say and shout things like, "The Indian's trying to cut his head off!" To the crowd, but "The Indian's trying to cut his head off!"
Yeah.
"Get the constabulary!" Crap like that. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Because, of course, that's what they're going to say, even though you're the one with the knife.
Yep.
Right?
Sounds legit.
That's as far as I'm getting into the casual racism of the term, or of the era. And with that...
At least we have the bonus of we have a lord on our side.
It's true.
Hopefully doesn't hate me after I punched him or kicked him to unconsciousness.
Okay, we are out of combat at this point. The crowd disperses. A couple people hang on and watch from the distance, but it's just you all in a field.
Well, I'm so sorry again. I can't even begin to say how sorry I am.
You can hand me my hat.
She will sheepishly hand the hat, her face down, it's just so embarrassed.
So we've got the one
So there are 3 people unconscious on the ground. One is the boy, the other is the man who claims to be his father, and the other is the big man, the big thug that came with them.
So Jessie's gonna take a pull at the shirt of the one that she just released it onto the ground, and she's gonna take a closer look at that mark.
It is
just to confirm her suspicions.
It is a brand the size around of a gold coin. The same size it was on the killer's hand.
Yeah. Mr. Dinesh, Lord Macduff, you may want to take a look at this. And then she's gonna point at it, and she's gonna go over to the other bruiser and take a look at that mark too.
Pulling it down is the same mark.
Who's got it too?
What do you see?
She's gonna very distinctly point out the burn mark. This looks fresh.
He and Dinesh will exchange a look. Ouroboros.
Same as the crime scenes. And same as
these were
what
plants.
And same as what I saw on the killer's hand in the boy's mind.
That was on his hand.
Yeah. When he tried to reach through to me.
As he did, you saw in your mind's eye that it glowed. Hot.
It glowed. Do any of you have magic sight up?
I do.
Yeah.
Is there anything strange about these markings?
I'll take a look.
I'll take a look as well.
If you wouldn't mind, Dinesh says, before you do, he'll hold his hand out for his blade.
Oh, but it's so much fun.
Yes, it is a lot of fun.
I will hand it back.
If
Are
we
any-
become good friends, I will remember one come Christmas Eve.
Thank you.
Okay?
Or,
So, if you are investigating this, I would like you to make me a... You can do a perception and awareness or a perception and occult roll, depending on what you are trying to gather out of this.
It is the same roll for me.
Would resonance apply?
If you are going with the awareness, yes.
Yes, I'm going for the awareness. That's my
Yes.
specialty.
And Evelyn, what are you doing while they are investigating these?
I think
Chastity
just kind
had
of
ac-
observing.
Okay.
Yeah. Chastity, right after she stepped back to let them look, was actually turning to Evelyn to say, to just in general ask, is anyone able to check if the boy and this man are actually related?
I imagine that would be potentially Darcie's.
Okay. Never mind then.
Anyone could do it, probably. Yeah.
I'm sure I could. Yeah. I'm sure I could. Have a look.
Actually, if you wanted to, Evelyn, you could use entropy to do it.
Really?
You could use entropy or correspondence. Is there a connection between these two people with correspondence?
I do not have correspondence.
No, but you could say these two, you could say aloud, these two people are father and son, using Ring of Truth. Normally it only works if someone is aware of whether or not something is a lie, but you could use it retroactively on whether or not when he said that he was the father, like just kind of remember it. And see if it triggers anything, because it's still in your mind's eye, I'd allow. But you could also you could try to team up with Chastity to do a dual effect if you wanted.
Sorry, what is Ring of Truth?
It is entropy 1 to see whether or not something aligns with fate. It's lie. It's a level 1 lie detector that basically you hear a sound, you know when someone's lying to you.
Oh, okay.
It is
Sure.
a phenomenal little level 1 ability.
It's great.
Yeah, sure. I'll try that. Actually, one moment. I would like to turn it on and then I'll tell Chastity. Tell me they're related. From there.
These two are father and son?
Okay. Now I will say, normally this only works if the person knows the answer.
Okay.
But in this situation, this one time, I'll allow it.
Okay.
So you can make me an arete roll. But yes, correspondence is great because you can connect two people. You can also be like, which way is London? North.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty on this is going to be, let's say, 4.
Okay, 3 successes.
No. Not even
What?
remotely. Not even
Okay.
remotely true.
No, that's not true.
They look nothing alike as well. As you roll, the man's eyes are wide open, and as he's passed out of the ground, he has bright, actually surprisingly handsome green eyes, one of which is filling with blood from burst blood vessels that Chastity
Yeah, I'll kind of
introduced.
shift his head, kind of half crouch between them, shift the head, pull one of the boy's eyelids back, and be like, no, that's not true.
He also has like a blonde roots. The boy is very dark haired and actually has like black eyes, like very, very dark eyes. Now maybe the mother could be, incredibly dark eyed, maybe from outside of England or something like that as well. But just they have nothing that looks alike. You would never ever picture these two unless he's adopted.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're looking at that, meanwhile, you are investigating the mark on the other side of the field. What did you get on your rolls?
What was the difficulty?
Difficulty is 8.
2 successes.
2 successes?
2 successes as well.
Okay. Okay, so how are you investigating? Like what about it are you trying to feel out? So you said you were looking for resonances, feeling the vibe. Darcie, how are you doing this, Josephine?
I'm looking for basically the same thing, and because Chastity specifically asked if we had prime sight up. So.
Okay. So. And I'm just looking up the exact resonance here. Yeah, I guess it's gonna have to be that. Okay. Sorry, I knew what it was, but I was like, do I have a better synonym? You are going to immediately have as you reach out and kind of feel your perceptions in it, looking at the mark. Your mind, your palate, your magical palate, the flavor of the resonance is going to flood over you. However you look at magic, whether or not you see it, hear it, taste it, or feel it, it is going to flood that sense with this. It starts off as the taste of loam and then turns into rancid, rotting beef in your mouth. And then decays. The flavor on your tongue is rotted beef that wriggles with maggots. What you see in your eyes, however, is as you look down at the mark, it is going to suddenly shiver as you investigate it. And the raised, puckered skin is going to start to move around like something beneath a sheet, drawing a finger in a circle. The flesh puckering upward. And then it is going to split like a blinking eyeball. And dozens of black flies are going to pour out of the wound. Buzzing by your faces as they take to the sky. This is actually happening, by the way. This is not just in your prime sight. Mm-hmm. You are going to be able to, for mechanical sake, entropic. So you're going to be able to. We got 2 successes. There are 2 resonances. Entropic defiled and entropic decayed are the 2 resonances that you're going to. Actually,
Look at that. Darcie's gonna like
static decayed. See more? Hold on, I'm just figuring something out. See static. Okay. More defiled. Static defiled. The defilement is pervasive. The decay is actively entropic.
Fair. As the flies come out, just Josephine's gonna start swatting at them and trying to get out of the way.
The mark will vanish, leaving only an ugly burn scar and a weeping pustule.
Yeah, I think of that. Darcie's gonna get sick at that because I think that's something she's never seen before.
Was that one, like each of them? The two ones that were, both of them got examined?
Were you examining the same one or different ones?
I probably would have examined the bruiser who I was close to. But
And Darcie, you were right. You were nearest to the other one. So this is going to be both of them. You would have pulled those both off of both of them. And both of them are going to erupt into flies, leaving behind yellow, foul-smelling pus weeping out of the wound.
Evelyn, do you have any of those smelling salts? God.
Yeah, I could go for some of those right now.
Yes, be careful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just trying to clear the really brief run past my nose to try and clear all of that.
This is dark magic. Very dark.
That didn't kill them, did it?
No. They'll live. Whoever did this, he's likely got more of his hands out there in the shadows. You should watch yourselves. He's taken an interest in you. All right.
Why?
I haven't the foggiest, but next steps. He'll crack his neck audibly. First things first. Doctor,
Yes.
if you wouldn't mind, the kerchief. He'll hold his hand out to you.
She'll pass it over.
I'd prefer not to leave samples of my blood around.
Oh, of course.
I'll replace it. And he'll pocket it. I suppose it's a coin toss then. Is the baby dead? Or not?
Do I still have the entropy thing up?
No, it would have been that for that one use.
That would have been funny.
Is the baby
I
dead?
honestly
or not?
feel, I believe it is. I believe it is for a sacrifice. A virgin babe is always very useful, powerful magic.
Depends on if they want to continue, though.
I don't think there's gonna be anything to save, even if it's not dead. If it isn't dead, it's not gonna be human anymore.
God help it.
Then I guess the question is now. You saw the clues. You know where it's going to be. Where this bastard is going to be. If the child isn't alive, be it worth avenging. Do you want to play his game?
I don't know if we have a choice.
There's always
We
a
can. We
choice.
should try and turn it on him. Why stick to his rules?
Yeah, like yes, we should play his game, but who says we can't play one of our own?
He'll turn Chastity. I don't think you actually really weighed in on the game portion. He'll turn and look at you.
I think that regardless of what I want, we have to go and face him. If we don't, he'll just come after us. At least if we know what we're involved in, to some extent, maybe we can survive it.
I have a carriage waiting out front. It's quick. Perhaps it'll be a bit tight.
Let's go.
Aye. Let's go. And with that, you head down the claustrophobic cobblestone alley to the carriage to go play a game with the devil in the darkness. Which is where we'll pick up next week. So, hey, folks, that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Last chance for anybody in the chat to buy more experience if you want it.
We've already
maxed it already.
Oh, was it already plus 3?
Yeah,
maxed it in the intro.
Yep. Before we even started, it was maxed.
Yep.
Okay, so folks, that is going to be it for episode 4. I think this little micro arc is going to finish in episode 5 or 6, and then the characters will progress beyond then. Oh god, James is in such trouble. By the way, I have to ask you, out of character, how did you enjoy that intro fiction and what that implied?
It was good.
What do you think it implied? I'm curious. I don't know if we should say on camera, but...
I'm not sure. I was just like, oh, he's in trouble.
Yeah, and you should probably keep an eye on that box. Because I think she specifically mentioned the box.
Yeah, she did.
Well, because that's what I stole.
Yeah.
It means we have more antagonists coming after us at some
point. You guys have so many antagonists coming after.
Yep. Also, I realized I made a big mistake by leaving my cat with because my cat can absorb paradox.
It's
not
really
with
true
me right now.
It's really
not
true.
with me right now. I'm waiting for this bomb to go off, and
it's going to be so good because you're getting to that you're getting to the quiet and paradox spirit levels. Which paradox spirits are the best.
I have no idea what that means.
It's when paradox manifests as a creature.
Oh.
So the legendary one is this being called Wrinkle. He's probably the
Wrinkle's great.
He's the most powerful. He appears as an old man, like Rip Van Winkle old, usually bald with a long, spindly nose, wearing a white suit, white shirt, white tie, all of which look like they have been crumpled into a ball hundreds of times. That many wrinkles. And his flesh is long and saggy and wrinkly. And when you do a time effect that is particularly vulgar, particularly powerful, you're like, I reverse time to prevent this act of vandalism or terrorism from happening. He will come to you and say, I'm sorry, that was not supposed to happen. I think it would be best if you change your mind and let it occur as it was meant to. And you have a choice. You can either say, okay, I take it back. Please undo my time effect for me. Or no, you can argue and say, no, it's going to stay like this. If you choose to stay like that, he imprisons you beyond time for an indeterminate amount of time. As in, you spend 10 years in a box unable to... You don't have to eat, breathe, die. You're just floating outside of time for a decade, 1,000 years without aging.
I love Wrinkle.
And usually he keeps you until you change your mind.
He wrote my character's entire life in one game.
He did. It was great.
Yeah.
Paradox is fantastic. Paradox is absolutely lovely. My favorite is the well does, though, which is when you use enough mind effects, usually, you will be suddenly reminded of something that you should not have forgotten, as it feels like someone punches you or slaps you in the back of the head, and you hear a resounding well duh in the background as you are reminded of how stupid you are.
That's funny.
So you take the damage of getting smacked upside the head and then get well duh. It's so good.
So I'm getting into the levels where a spirit oh my
potentially
God.
Yeah, usually that's around level 10 plus, but I mean Victorian Era might do it differently. Actually, to be honest, it's a little higher than that. You're gonna get baby spirits or maybe some hobgoblins. Hobgoblins are basically paradox spirits that will hover around you and just make your life hell, like gremlins.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
You can kill them.
Paradox is fun.
They're findable and killable. Folks, that's going to be it for us tonight. Players, please take 5 experience points thanks to the chat.
So total of 5?
Total of 5. And is anybody looking to spend any of those experience points?
I need to double check the cost chart again.
So many.
Robin,
costs.
can you forward that over? Because she just sent me a copy of it earlier tonight.
I think potentially if Amy is over at all earlier tomorrow, maybe a little discussion, look at them all, think about it. I like having help figuring out what I want to do.
That's fair.
It's hard to try and decide this at this time of night.
That's fair. Hey, you all rock in the chat. Oh, you got here very late.
I have
Augustin.
19 XP now.
You have, holy crap, that's a lot of XP. You can start buying some spheres. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in and for watching this episode of Mage. It is a little bit shorter this time, but next episode is going to be a bit longer probably. So it's going to all balance out because next episode is hopefully a climactic confrontation inside of the Crystal Palace.
Well, and I think this worked out really well because we had our little fight, and I think if we kept going, it would have just felt like it was dragging on, like limping on.
It was the right place to end it, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes a shorter game is better.
Yeah.
And I would have ended it a little earlier, but starting the fight it felt right rather than like the guy falls would have been the other place to pause the episode.
It was good. I liked that.
It was really good. And Robin, I hope you don't feel like I was being rough on you there. That felt like the right thing to happen as this kid's running across the roof. He's like 13.
No, I was thinking, I was like, there's gonna be, I was like, there's two ways Kelly's gonna do this. I'm hoping, I'm gonna hope that he doesn't fall, but I know this might be a possibility.
Actually, because I want to keep the XP system fair and even, what I'm gonna do is instead give you an extra point of willpower back.
Willpower.
To reward you for both of the times you screwed up. So I'm going to give you 1 point of willpower for kicking Macduff, as well as the same point of willpower for the guy falling off the roof, just as a good job. That added to the drama. Bad choices make good stories. So gain a point of willpower back for that. And did anybody fulfill their nature? Amy?
So my nature was Guardian.
Yeah, I'll give you a point for that for sure.
Okay. Do we get anything for our demeanors?
No. Demeanor is basically just, it's a role-playing guideline. Jen.
Mine's Survivor, so I don't think so.
You survived a mob fight. I'll allow it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Anybody else? What do you got?
So, sorry, is this for willpower back?
Yes.
Okay.
So I will say that, I mean, we can do however you want to, but in M20 it does specify that you get willpower back for demeanor as well.
Oh, does it now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
interesting.
I
I
think
would like-
conditions for that.
Possibly,
I would like-
possibly. I might be wrong, but
Yeah,
I have it
double-check
written
me.
down.
Because they
I have it
didn't.
written down
I
here,
don't remember them. They don't believe it used to do that. So this is great.
Okay, well, I'm full, so it's not a big deal.
I would like to do my
But my
That's
nature is
upside down.
rogue.
You would like to do what?
activist when you successfully confront abuse, right wrongs, or reveal actual conspiracy.
Yeah, sure. You were involved in this.
Yeah, confronting the abusive guy and the kid.
Regaining willpower. At the end of a successful story, not game session, you regain all. When you fulfill an element of your nature, gain a point or two of willpower.
Point or two, really?
A point or if it's a big one, if it's a hard one.
Oh, interesting.
So actually, I'm going to reward Chastity 2 of them for the specific guardian nature of that, and doing permanent mind effects to shield a kid and to scare off the fake parent, and to basically counter an abuse narrative. So I think that's a huge guardian thing. So I'm going to upgrade that, as well as a night's sleep. It doesn't look like demeanor inside of here unless you can find it.
Yeah,
Mine
it
could
might.
potentially have worked in this system. I'm just trying to work out when it would work, as rogue is specifically supposed to be more kind of, you subvert the system, you rail against the system, and in this case, the system is that child abuse is normalized.
Oh yeah, I'll give you. Well, you can't take any more, but
I don't need any right now, but I think that kind of fits for the Victorian system of that. If it was his father, he has the right to beat his child as long as he doesn't kill him.
Yeah,
That
was
can
a
get
normalized
waved
thing.
off pretty damn easy.
Well, yeah, because it's just a kid. Well, it's not even a kid because kids don't really exist in this era, right? It was, oh yeah, it's a boy, but you know what is a boy versus a man? It's just a short man.
Yeah, I must have had that part written down wrong about the demeanor, but it also in this part of the book it says 1 to 3 willpower for for doing your nature. So I just don't think the rules are very consistent.
That's crazy.
That's M20 page 268.
I guess if you do a really huge gesture.
Yeah, because you can also get it back for other things like rescuing strangers, which means that, you know what, I'm gonna award everyone 1 more point of willpower back for the rush of success.
Okay.
However, if I'm going to be that generous now, it means that the next time you encounter scenes of torture and things like that, you may lose willpower just from seeing it.
Okay.
Because it shakes you. So I think that a lot of you have like some decent amount of willpower right now.
If that gives me 1 more, that puts me back to full.
Good, you're going to need
Puts me
it.
back to full.
I am
as well.
not at full, but
I haven't
I'm
been
close.
using mine, so I'm at full already.
Sounds good.
Does that
I'm also-
affect me as well then? The
It
being shaken
doesn't.
later?
Yes, well, if basically if you come across something, I'll give you a willpower roll to see if it really shakes you. But so if you fail, it'll do willpower damage.
Nuts! I didn't get anything for it, and I still get the downside.
Well, you'll get the advantage in the future. So, folks, thank you so much for watching and for joining us on this adventure tonight. If you like what we do here, you can let us know by giving us a follow here and also subscribing over on YouTube or wherever you're listening to this when it's on podcast. Give us a high review if you can. Leave us some comments. I do respond to those. YouTube doesn't always let me know I have comments for some reason. I used to get emails every time. Now I don't. So I try to check it once every couple weeks when I have time. I do want to say as well that it's September, and I really appreciate all of you who dropped subs today. I know that I think Frog dropped a few, so did, and Solomon dropped a couple the other night, and so did JB did, right? I was running game, so it was JBMM31. Thank you so much for those subs that you dropped, and for everybody else. If I missed you, I've been looking back and forth constantly, so I can't always see. If you want to support the channel directly and give less money to Twitch, which Twitch is great, but you can also support the channel directly on Patreon, where more of the money goes to the channel at patreon.com/dorktales, where you get a bunch of other benefits, including this shout out I'm about to do, where I want to thank Taryn, the prince of the Patreon, for doing all that she can to support, including watching Dork Tales while in labor with her son, as well as my 2 divine producers, DM Mike, who is just a wonderful human being, and back to tier where he was able to create a god for our D&D setting, and that god is pretty cool. It's basically Tilda Swinton with godlike powers and no fucks given. And also Shulton, who created a demon that became a god, a godlike entity, and has created a new god because he raised his tier. And I think he's been pretty satisfied with his investment in that demon, since that has completely changed one of our campaigns. So that's a lot of fun. But you can support as little as $1. It doesn't matter the size of your support. It's very welcome. But you'll gain access to additional content, but you'll never have to pay to get the basic Dork Tales content. Like, I love having you here, even if you can afford to throw a couple bucks in. It's really appreciated, but it is not required, and I never would feel like it is. Also, join our Discord, because it is completely open. We want you to join it and have fun with us. Anything else that we should talk about on the way out?
Thank you for a fantastic game.
Oh, thank you so much.
It was great.
It has been a long and stressful week, so I'm glad this was fun. I was worried I wouldn't have the energy to really come into this, but as soon as the cravat goes on, I'm energized. I'm all powered up. Yep. Although I'm sorry, my Scottish accent was a little not quite right. My normal Scottish accent is like more David Tennant, and I'm trying to do more Gerard Butler, and I'm just trying to be like, oh, hello, it's me, it's Lord Macduff. Oh, how are you doing? And trying to go a bit deeper. It's me, Lord Macduff, without turning into Sean Connery. Like, it's like, it's difficult. But
then you have Darcie with the Irish accent, which is somewhat similar but slightly different.
And do you know how hard it is to keep a Scottish accent going while you're doing that?
Oh yeah, no, it's hard for me
to
trying
have
not to go
Dinesh with
Scottish
a very slight Indian inflection that is just acceptable, like Indian British. Oh god, it's difficult. It's difficult. I'm not.
Yeah, accents are so hard, and as somebody who studied linguistics, I cannot and will not do one because I cannot do it right.
Yeah. I would one day like to try an accent. Today is not that day. It's not this character. This character is a little bit. I try to give her own distinct voice. I think it's been working a little bit.
Yeah, no, she is.
She has a little bit of a lower inflection, kind of.
I like her. I like all your characters. I think this game is a lot of fun, and I look forward to. Everybody is getting their own little spot in the sunlight here. This is. I'm not going to say a damn thing beyond that, but let's just say that some of you are really going to love the Berlin arc. You didn't think we were stopping in London, did you? The Victorian age is a whole world of trouble.
Yep.
And Jen can't wait to get to the Wild West.
Okay, so someone in chat was talking earlier about, I don't remember who it was, mentioning, like, are we adopting this child, this 13-year-old somehow? And talking about how it'd be like, is Teddy gonna be the father figure? And I'm just like, oh no, please no.
Please no, because I know this kid's name. Because it would literally be Teddy and Eddie.
Oh no.
I mean, that's a better child storyline than werewolf.
This is better than that, because that baby's getting that boy is getting he's an experiment. Folks, that is going to be it for us tonight with Mage the Ascension. We really appreciate everything that you do and joining us on these adventures, and we hope you do it again. And let us know what type of content you like. If you want more World of Darkness stuff or Chronicles of Darkness stuff, let me know, because I do love it. It's just not quite as many people watch it, so but prove me wrong, because who doesn't love Mage? We'll see you next time. Good night, mages.